Or what is it? Was it? Come on. All right, we'll start this again. April 20th, 2016 meeting of City Council's called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being recorded as well as presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2, our closed caption, for hearing impaired viewers. Please note, customers of CenturyLink, you may view this program in high definition on channel 1002, and some customers of Cox Communication who do not have a cable box, you may view this meeting on digital channel 69.9. The City Council meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, may be viewed on the internet at www.lasvegasnevada.gov. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 5 p.m. This building is protected by state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system. So if alarms should activate during today's meeting, please evacuate using the exit at the back of the chambers out to the mezzanine. Proceed out the double doors to the terrace, down the back staircase. For anyone who has difficulty with stairs, please check with one of our marshals or fire official for assistance. Once outside, assemble on the northeast corner across the street from City Hall at Lewis and First. Employees wearing safety vests or city marshals will inform you when it's safe to re-enter the building. For public comment related to items on the agenda, citizen participation, and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card which you may complete and submit to the city clerk up front. Cards are available online in the clerk's office or at the rear of these chambers. If you did not submit a card, it does not prevent you from speaking under public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearing items. If anyone's present today who has need for hearing impaired equipment, please come forward and see our city clerk staff. And if you parked in the parking garage across the street, please be sure to have your ticket validated by our security officers when exiting. Before we proceed with the agenda, would everyone please rise for the invocation given this morning by Reverend Bonnie Pauley, Christ Episcopal Church, and then please remain standing for the pledge.
Let us pray. O Lord, our governor, whose glory is in all the world, we commend our city and all who reside in it to your care, that being guided by you, we may dwell in your peace. We especially pray this morning for each and every one who is honored today, especially the veterans. We also ask you to grant to each of these city council people the spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice, and fill them with your love of truth and righteousness. Make them ever mindful of their calling to serve in their duties. For yours is the kingdom, O Lord, and you are exalted as head above all. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we'll continue on with our ceremonial portion. Okay, morning, everybody. As a city of compassion. Thank you. I have such a loud voice and an annoying one anyway, but I just want to make sure all of us remain very sensitive to the horrendous earthquakes and those who've been stricken so unbelievably in Japan and Ecuador. And I did call the Red Cross to find out what we're doing here. They are contacting the Red Cross in both countries. And so at this point, we're not sending any personnel, but just to make sure that we all remain sensitive to issues in other parts of the world. Very sad. This is the ceremonial portion of our agenda, and for our first item, I'd like to ask our Public Works Director, David Bowers, to join us, please, at the podium. I guess the baby doesn't like you. Our employees, however, strive to be superheroes in the workplace, meeting our values of action, which, as you know, stand for achievement, creativity, teamwork, integrity, and ownership now. They build our community to make our lives better, and I'm proud to announce that the Employee of the Month in our great city is Scott Dickus, or Dickus. Dickus. So come on, Scott. We're so proud. Congratulations to you. We really are thrilled. Scott is a land survey technician and has been with the city since 2004. Scott is a very friendly and personable, obviously, you can see this individual, but at the workplace he is a loner, sadly, a one-man wolf pack team. This is because the city has experienced reductions in the workforce over the years, and Scott has been tasked with doing land surveys by himself. Normally, a crew will conduct these types of surveys, but Scott has taken on a tough job and excelled, delivering fabulous customer service in the meanwhile. In order to meet the standards of this job, Scott has mastered the use of robotic survey equipment, accomplishing tasks that usually two-person crew would do. Scott also must take on extra precautions because working alone, as surveyors are often called out to do in busy traffic, he doesn't have anybody watching his back. Scott attacks his assignments with enthusiasm and has really taken ownership of his duties. And so we want to present you with this award and direct you to look to the left. Look to the left. Oh, see, we're going to get help. Okay. And look to the left where you'll see the street sign with your name on it that will be displayed outside of City Hall over the next month. I mean, we are so proud. We want to give you an opportunity to say a few words, but before we do that, of course, we want to hear from David, who's going to talk further about everything that you mean to us.
Thank you, Mayor. It's really a pleasure to recognize Scott as the Employee of the Month. He's, as you can see, a very humble person, but very dedicated. In fact, he asked me on the way up here, is this going to take too long because I need to get out there because of a time-sensitive survey? And I'm like, well, we'll get you out there, don't worry, but very, very impressive. As the mayor mentioned, you covered a lot of things there, but he is very dependable. He's willing to take on very difficult assignments on his own, out in the traffic, and he brings things back with a lot of pride, the highest degree of accuracy. His technical background has allowed the city to collect data more effectively and more efficiently than ever with high-definition LiDAR scanning and different technology that we'd never be able to do without Scott's expertise. So it's really a pleasure. Scott, congratulations. And Alan, thank you for recognizing him as the Employee of the Month.
I just have one request. Don't text and drive. You know, it's pretty rough out there for us guys in the street. And it's really... That's the worst thing I've seen in a long time, people texting and driving, looking up and, you know, they're on you. So I'd appreciate that.
So we are so proud, and we want to give you this beautiful piece of memorabilia for home or your office, but you're out in the street so much I wouldn't carry it with you. I also want to give you a good luck Mayor chip because that will keep you safe and healthy.
Thank you.
And now I also want to lean on David to spend some money. How about, could you turn your back to David, please. He needs something that is iridescent here. Yes, my favorite green. Does he have when he's out there? He does. He does. Okay, so you'll be safe all the time. Don't forget to wear that. Scott, thank you for making the recommendation, too. How about we go get a picture? Okay?
Thank you for the birthday card last week.
Well, I know. I wouldn't ask how old you are.
Those have improved greatly.
You remember Oscars?
I've got them all.
Oh, well.
I've got everyone.
He had a birthday last week. We won't ask how old. Okay, let's get a picture. Okay, we'll go get a picture. Okay, for our next item, I'd like to ask the Senior Citizen Advisory Board representative, Carmen Bates, to come join us at the podium. And Carmen is going to share with us who our Senior of the Quarter is. And congratulations, you get one too. There it is. Here you go. Let me give you this.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. For many years, Janet O'Donnell has volunteered her time screening and counseling young women and couples at First Choice Pregnancy Services. Her calm presence contributes greatly to their compassionate environment. Also, as a longtime parishioner at St. Anne Catholic Church, Janet voluntarily undertakes the supportive ministries of the church. For example, most recently, the funeral ministry that entails assisting the bereaved families as they wade through the formalities and options of a funeral mass or memorial mass while blinded by their grief. Janet's volunteering has positively impacted her 4 fine adult children and their respective families. They're a kind, creative, and conscientious family. Janet and her husband Bill reach out in the community to help anyone in need, thus illustrating that it is in giving that we receive. Janet?
Well done.
Nice to meet you, Mrs. Mayor. Good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, and especially thank you to my family and friends who have come here today to honor me, and I humbly acknowledge what Carmen has given to me. And I say thank you. I thank you. So many people who have come with me today, too, are wonderful volunteers. So I accept this in the name of all volunteers. I think that we need to really extend ourselves for the causes that we believe in and to give our time willingly and lovingly. So I thank you so very much. Thank you.
And we have, first of all, good luck mayorship for you. We thank you so much. And we have this wonderful plaque for you honoring you, and we're just so grateful to you and all of our seniors.
Thank you so
and
much.
Thank you, and Carmen.
Thank you.
Thank you, and for you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. No. You think I'm running for office. I'm not running for office. At least not yet. Okay, Councilman Beers. Just slip it. Councilman.
Thank you.
Yours.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Yelnick, would you please come forward to receive this award from the city? At the 2013 U.S. Conference of Mayors, they endorsed the concept of Purple Heart cities. Since then, 15 United States cities have declared themselves Purple Heart cities. Today is Las Vegas. Henderson has already gone before us. The Military Order of the Purple Heart, Councilman Anthony, if you'll step aside, you can see there, it's actually the only congressionally chartered veteran service organization composed of combat wounded veterans. It's the oldest military decoration still in use, dates back to August 7th, 1782, and was created by George Washington. City of Las Vegas and the City Council have great admiration and the utmost gratitude for all the men and women who selflessly served. Therefore, we would like to ask all citizens to join us in honoring our Purple Heart veterans and proudly proclaim the City of Las Vegas to be a Purple Heart City. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Too many hands in the mix here.
Oh, so sorry. Would you care to say something? I can't believe you're shy.
Well, I'm going to let our commander,
Our
John Wade.
John Waite, our commander, will say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank all of the veterans for coming out today on this auspicious occasion. And we would like, as members of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 711, would like to present this plaque to the citizens of Las Vegas, the City Council, and the Mayor in appreciation for having named Las Vegas a Purple Heart City.
We are so proud, and this is beautiful. Thank you.
We also have a flag. We also have a flag which we wish to present to the city, and hopefully you'll fly it on military holidays and especially on Purple Heart Day.
We will make sure. Mr. Riggleman, we're going to charge you to make sure with that, Director of our Communications and Public Information Office. That is beautiful, honoring Americans, combat wounded veterans. So this will fly on all of our military acknowledged holidays. If you would, can you make sure that happens? And then we will be honored to hang this in a very public place. Thank you for your service. Oh, wait, look at this.
Our convention this summer.
This is Silver State. Welcome, Las Vegas. They're battle-born state. And it says on the back, Military Order of the Purple Heart, 83rd National Convention. And so we're so proud of all of you. How about you come up for a quick picture? Why don't we do that? I think it would really be nice in front of the, these are beautiful. Whoops. This is wonderful. How are you? Look who's back.
And Henry's a city employee.
Henry's ours.
He's ours.
He's ours, too.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you so much. All right, Mayor Pro Tem, can we have some good luck mayor chips to keep everybody healthy? And thank you all for your service. We're so grateful to you. And wonder if we should just all come in as close as you can. Councilman Beers, can you hold this? Where are you? Can you come right in here, please? Don't get lost. Come in. Okay. Everybody, if you'll look at Shane. One more. Over there to the left. Great. Thank you again. Thank you for your service, everybody. And these chips from the city, from the mayor, are good luck, good health chips, and we want you all to keep them with you too as well. Yours are more important chips, believe me, and say a heck of a lot more. But thank you. Thank you. We're so grateful to you all. Thank you so much. We're just so proud of everything you've done for us, Henry. Henry has so many shirts.
Can I say one more thing?
You may say as much as you like.
I would like to invite everyone down to the cafe after the ceremonies are over. We're having coffee and cookies or donuts or something, I'm not sure what, but you're more than welcome to come down and join us. Thank you.
In our Now Cafe,
In the Now Cafe, yes.
which is on this floor.
Yes.
Great. So just out the door and to our left.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Goodness, we love that they have parties too. Yes, after ceremonials. Okay. For our next item, Councilman Anthony's going to recognize a special day for Ward 4. What do you got?
Thank you, Mayor. It is my honor today to recognize Ernest J. May Elementary School for their 25th anniversary. May Elementary School is located at 6350 West Washburn and was named for Ernest James May in honor of his service to the city of Las Vegas. Ernest May was the first Las Vegas police officer killed in the line of duty. I'd like to ask three very important people, three leaders from Ernest May Elementary School. Principal Bridget Leatherman, right here, thank you. Assistant Principal Christy Maffaletto, and School Counselor Kahina Parrish to join me at the podium. Give them a nice round of applause. These are great, great ladies. Ernest James May was born on August 20th, 1895 in Marysville, Utah. William May, Ernest's father, was a coal miner and died at an early age due to black lung disease. In the early 1900s, shortly after her husband died, Rosetta moved her family to Las Vegas. Ernest May joined the Las Vegas Police Department in the early 1930s at a time when Las Vegas was still a very young community. At that time, the city boasted 2 police cars, and the members of the police department could be counted on one hand. Uniforms were not worn in those days, and while radios were in existence, they were too expensive to be owned by the Las Vegas police force. When an officer was sent to a call, he knew in most cases he would have to handle it without the help of other officers and backup. On June 8, 1933, at approximately 1945 hours, 2 unidentified men called the police station reporting that a drunken man was shooting wildly at the Clark Auto Court on South 5th Street. Officer May, better known as Ernie to his many friends, was assigned to investigate the disturbance and arrived at the motel alone. As the shooting was reconstructed by witnesses and the police, it appeared that Officer Ernie May had pulled his police car into the auto court, and as he climbed out of the car, he was shot in the right breast by the motel proprietor. Although mortally wounded, Officer May emptied his revolver at his assassin, striking him 3 times. Tragically, both men died before they help could be reached. It was later learned that the motel proprietor had been drinking heavily during that day and had made statements that he would kill the first police officer that came his way. Officer May was the first to arrive and died there at the age of 38, leaving a widow and 7 children, ranging in ages from 15 years to 6 weeks. Annetta Lewis, May's oldest daughter, and 2 sisters, Daisy and Rose, recommended that May Elementary be named in honor of their father. The Clark County Board School Trustees approved the naming on July 14, 1988, and the school opened in 1991. Currently, the school is in great hands with Principal Bridget Leatherman, and she hopes to preserve his legacy through the recent addition of a memorial wall for all fallen police officers of Las Vegas. So I want to thank you for doing that. That's very important to me as a retired Metro police officer, and I'd like you to talk about some of the events that are coming up to celebrate the 25th anniversary.
Good morning. Thank you. Next week, my staff has worked very, very hard to honor not only Ernest J. May, but also the legacy that he left behind. With it being the 25th anniversary, our students now know who their namesake is and why he is a hero of Las Vegas, as well as the other fallen officers that have come after him. So next week, we not only are having a big event, I feel like I've planned a wedding. The 28th, we're having a dinner for the previous administration, our staff, as well as Ernest J. May's family. So his grandchildren are coming, his great-grandchildren are coming, and most of all, his oldest daughter, who was 15 years old, is still alive. So she is coming to the event. And that is why we're here this morning. My counselor, Kahina Parrish, did write to the mayor's office and Stavros Anthony, asking if we could have a proclamation to present to her as well, so she knows that we are taking care of her father's legacy and his school, and we hope that when she comes, she'll be proud of what we've become. So also this year, with it being 25 years, the students decided they wanted to vote for a new logo. We right now are the May Monarchs, but after voting, the students chose May Marshals. Now, Ernest May did die a Metro police officer, but he did do a small span of his career as a marshal. So the story that I've researched, and we've researched, that he was shot prior to being killed, and his wife urged him to take a safer job and asked him to be a marshal for the U.S. government. So he did that for a short period of time, but his heart did land back as a Metro police officer, and unfortunately shortly after that, that is when he was killed in the line of duty. So ironically, we are honoring Ernest J. May and his legacy, but I feel like we're honoring his wife a little bit too. So because we are now going to be May Marshals. So we have a new logo, we have a new school song. We're presenting it to his daughter and his family on Thursday evening. And then Friday, we're having our first police day. So all the police units are coming and presenting to the students, and all the students have something planned to do during our event too. So it's going to be a great week, and it's been a great year, and hopefully we can continue this each year.
Thank you. Good job. And when is that occurring?
Thursday the 28th. And
May 28th?
You're speaking Thursday the
I will be there. You're all obviously invited.
April, I'm sorry,
April 28th.
I believe you're speaking.
We're all there.
Okay.
Thursday and Friday.
Great. Well, thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to meeting Ernest May's daughter. And with that, I would like to present a City of Las Vegas proclamation from the mayor and the entire City Council recognizing April 28th as Ernest May Day Elementary School in the City of Las Vegas. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. This is the new logo, yes.
Pretty cool.
Very official.
And thanks, Kahina, for working with our office really closely. Thank you very much for doing that. All right. Very good.
Congratulations.
His daughter's 97.
And how about the 6-week-old is 25?
Yeah, Anita's the only one still alive out of all of his students.
Out of all 7?
All 7. So she's
Oh,
asked
my
to speak
heavens.
too, so she's going to come and speak. So,
Wow, well, that's
it's gonna be
beautiful.
really exciting.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very
Goodness.
much. I appreciate it.
Okay, for our next item, Councilman Ross is on board to recognize a group.
Thank you, Mayor. And I imagine some of his grandchildren will be there because I went to high school with Robert Prisby, who's one of his grandchildren. So it's, they'll be. He's already told me he'll be there. So looking forward to that. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for all you do. You bet. What a great way, Councilman. Thank you for recognizing them. I forgot my fishing pole. I looked right at it as I was leaving the house. I should have brought my fishing pole. On behalf of Councilman Barlow, I get the opportunity to recognize the Nevada Department of Wildlife. NDOW is responsible for the management of fish and wildlife resources, boating safety. Their activities include education, habitat preservation, wildlife diversity management, law enforcement. And when we experienced the Carpenter One forest fire, the Department of Wildlife evaluated the area to immediately address the needs of habitat recovery. An important area we are here to talk about today are the efforts to promote fishing in the Las Vegas community. Thus, I forgot my fishing pole. And if you can see on the overhead, we've got some fish. That's at Lorenzi Park.
That is?
That's at Lorenzi Park. They help with the Ward 5 Fishing Derby. They help me with the Ward 6 Free Fishing Day and Derby, and they give angling classes at Floydland Park at Tule Springs. I'd like to invite Ivy Santee to come down here and join me. Ivy, where are you at? Come on over here, girl. With her, she's got Teresa Moyola, the Conservation Education Division Chief, and Doug Nielsen, the Southern Region Conservation Education Supervisor. You guys come down here too, please, so we can all recognize you. Ivy has been, give them a round of applause. You're awesome. I need to brush up on my fly fishing too. Have you got time? Okay. Ivy has been instrumental in organizing these events with strong focus on youth and their families. Ivy joined the Nevada Department of Wildlife in 1993 as the agency's first ever angler education coordinator. Who made that up? Angler, that's awesome. Somebody in Reno? Now, almost 23 years later, the Angler Education Program has grown into a statewide program. So that's pretty awesome, right? The Angler Education Program covers everything from the basics to the advanced work of tying fishing flies. And I have a son who enjoys that tremendously. He does a great job at it. She also oversees the Youth Fly Fishing Club, which encourages lifelong involvement in both the sport and conservation efforts for fish. Many who have made their home in Las Vegas, both young and old, have never had the opportunity to enjoy the wilderness. The City of Las Vegas and the Department of Wildlife Education Conservation Program provides many of our residents the opportunity to enjoy the wilderness for the very first time. We look forward to continuing this great partnership. So I think the quote is, quit wishing and go fishing. Is that right? Okay, quit wishing, go fishing. I encourage everyone interested in getting to know your local wildlife treasures or who wants to get started fishing to reach out to the Department of Wildlife. And Ivy, tell everybody how they can do that.
Get outside. Get to the parks. Get to the ponds. It's not real hard. Basically, if you want to learn about classes, you go to our website. We have them posted. Or just give me a call. You know, if you've got a group of kids or adults, anybody, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care what your age is. If you want to go fishing, we are more than glad to teach you how to do it.
There's hope for all of us.
No, some people there's no hope for.
And help teach us how to cook the fish and clean the fish.
We actually do have cooking classes too. We've got one coming up. When is it, Doug? I don't remember. This has been a crazy couple of weeks. We just spent time at the Clark County Fair where we had almost 2,500 kids in 4 days go through the fishing pond, and my brain's still a little mushy. I'm supposed to be up at Floyd Lamb right now with 50 kids from Guy Elementary School, all second graders. So we do classes on teaching people about cooking fish, how to prepare it properly, how to clean it, how to prepare it, and then how to cook it. So we do that as well as basically how to catch it. And if you want to do catch and release, if you can't stand to hurt the poor little thing like me, love to catch them, hate to eat them. So I do all catch and release. So it's a lot of fun.
Ivy, thank you. Ivy, thank you so much for what you do. And because you do so much in the Nevada Division of Wildlife, we are going to proclaim April 20th, 2016 as Nevada Department of Wildlife Day in the city of Las Vegas and ask our residents to join us as well. So that's for you. Congratulations. And thank you. Continue the great work. And folks, quit wishing and go fishing.
Great. Thank you. That is great, and there is nothing like fishing. I'm a big fisherwoman. So it's a great sport, and it's very peaceful. I mean, you really can just decompress when you're fishing all by yourself or even with others if they're quiet.
Like I tell the kids.
It's not like golf.
Like I tell the kids, when they're not catching, it's not boring, it's relaxing. I got to get the right term.
Tell those second
But
graders.
thank you all. We're excited. We look forward to this. Those are some pretty good-sized fish. Trout? What are they? What were they? Carp?
That's probably a good idea.
Catfish? What were they?
Those were trout, it looked like.
Okay.
Mayor, let's do this. Ivy, I get this question a lot. Why don't you talk about when the lakes you put the fish in and they are stocked? That might help folks too.
Last Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
No. Right now we're channel catfish time. So once a month we're putting channel catfish into our local ponds, which is Lorenzi Park, Floyd Lamb Park, Sunset, Boulder City. During the winter months, from November through March, we're putting rainbow trout into the ponds. Those go in anywhere from every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the weather conditions, the truck, whether there's a flu epidemic, you know. Because the trout come down from our Mason Valley hatchery up near Urington. The catfish we're actually getting from a company that comes out of Arizona. So those are once a month. So about the middle of each month, all the way through October, we'll be putting channel catfish. But our ponds have lots of other species in them, but they reproduce on their own in the ponds, so it's pretty awesome.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ivy. Thank
That sounds wonderful. And catfish are scavengers, so they keep the ponds clean, sort of, right? No carp? Carp, because they get pretty darn big. And so you must have size limitation to what you can catch. You don't? Do you let them? Not in the local ponds. Oh, wonderful hors d'oeuvres. Thank you very much. 12. You can pass. You can pass for 12. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. And what recommendation on bait? Cheese? What are we doing? Little minnow?
Everything eats worms.
Worms. Oh, wow. Go for worms in the desert. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, mealworms.
Thank you, mealworms.
Thank you,
Great.
guys.
Thank you so much. It's going to be fun. And so for our final item this morning, we have pink shirt and looking very dapper, Councilman Coffin. You're going to say something wonderful.
Thank you, Mayor. It's Pink and Black Day here at the council. This, for the last, but certainly the most presentation today, and they've been pretty entertaining today, we have Library Week we're honoring. Ron Heesen, come on up from the audience and join us there. Is there anybody else you'd like to bring with you, Ron?
right. Time flies. Look at that, a whole year and a half. Wonderful.
Hi, Ron.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for coming. That's Ron, and we also have Karen Bramwell with him from the staff of the library district. Now, what we have is an important institution. We all grew up visiting libraries, some of us more than others. Libraries were everywhere you were. If you were in a neighborhood that was lucky enough to have a library nearby, you went to it. The city, when I was a child here, had one library, which was right behind the old City Hall, or very close to the old Federal Building, which is now the Mob Museum. So that was our library. Subsequently, of course, the city grew, and many, many things happened, and ultimately it was decided that the county and the city would cooperate. Everybody got together. Well, not every city, I guess, but we got everybody in as much as we could to cooperate for raising tax money for this venture and for spreading the word, so that now the valley's pretty well covered. But there's a spot in this valley we have a lot to thank the library board for, and I want to make sure that, even though it's not on the agenda, to thank Ron and Karen and the trustees for putting and selecting a new location in the city of Las Vegas, the first one on the east side of the city of Las Vegas, at 28th and Bonanza. People will drive by there, take a look at the old trees. There used to be a housing development there. On 8 acres, a first-class library is going to be there, finished in about a year and a half, I think. And so it's a pride and joy of the library, but it's particularly a prideful thing for all of us on the council. So that's going to be great for the kids. A full 8 acres, it's going to rival anything in Summerlin, guaranteed, maybe even bigger, if we have anything to do with it. Ron, the Library Week's been around for 60, 70 years. It's been something to celebrate what would be obvious, and that is usually what is not recognized, is that what we take for granted. So Library Week started when I was a teenager, and it's always been what I think they call the great equalizer of knowledge, because rich or poor, you can always catch up, you can always stay ahead by having the library at your fingertips. And it's a wonderful place to browse. You know, people browse the internet now a lot. Well, you go into a library and you hit a stack of books, and then you see one that's next to the one you were looking for. And pretty soon you're taking 3 books to a chair or a little corral somewhere, and you're sitting down and you're gone. You're there for the rest of the day. That's what immersion really is. And so all our children need to be read to and forced to read to us and gotten to the library one way or the other to turn off the computer. And now I want to just pass this to Ron, because he's going to tell us a little bit about what the district is doing right now.
Thank you, Councilman. Of course, libraries are only about one thing. We're not about books. People think we're a book warehouse. That's not true. We're about changing lives. And that's what the business we've been in for, and as you know, for over 200 years, the library is the most American institution in the country, other than parks and public parks, but they followed us by 100 years later. So, okay, just want you parks people to know that. Yeah, they had to read about it in the book from the library. So thank you. I appreciate that, Councilman Beer. So, this year we had over 6.3 million people come through the library doors in our 25 branches throughout Clark County. They borrowed 14.9 million items, but we're about 3 things. This last week, as we mentioned, was National Library Week. And instead of just doing it for 1 week, we're celebrating the month with 2 different programs. One of them is called Food for Thought. So how many of you here have library fines? Okay, guess what? You can get them cleared off. For every $2 you owe the library in fines, bring in 1 can or 1 package of unperishable food, and that will go to support 3 Square. Everything you donate, and for every can you donate, $2 will be taken off your tab. $2 for every can. Now, we're about changing lives, but we understand, there's the hierarchy of needs. Maslow developed that way back when, and we have to worry about people not having food and shelter. So we are partnering with different groups in the community to see that happens. But something else, we're also working with kids on STEAM. So one of our programs this month is for the for kids to come in. They have the Discovery Children's Museum, and we have the program called Love Your Library, Tell a Friend. So for every time that a kid or family walks in and shows their library card at the Discovery Museum, they will get $3 off their admission fee. And again, it's a partnership. But the most thing that we worry about kids is how many are aware of the summer slide or slump? What do we call it here in Vegas? The summer slide? Okay. Yeah, summer sweat. For kids who are in school, when they don't go to school, now we have some 24 months or 12-month schools here, but nevertheless, for those who are out of school during the summer months, they actually lose skills before they go back to school in the fall, unless they sign up for the summer reading program. Now, we have our summer read program, and we'll have story times, puppet shows, math and science, all the STEAM programs, games and recreation, and these activities will help the kids keep their skills up so they're ready to go back to school. But it also doesn't just help keep their skills up, it develops their imagination. And kids who develop their imagination do better in life, not just in school. We just took in some cards during National Library Week, and one great-grandmother sent us this comment. And I'd like to end with what she said, and this is verbatim. My great-granddaughter is excelling in school because of the preschool program she attended at Summerlin Library. She will love the library forever. Thank you.
Ron, thank you for being here. Ron, it's my pleasure and the pleasure of the City Council and Mayor to present this proclamation to you today. As recognition of National Library Week, we are congratulating you and truly feel honored by your presence. You're very welcome. And as a footnote to Ron's comment to the audience, one person raised his hand and said he had a library fine outstanding. So for the other 25 of you here who didn't, you can just go to the nearest library, bring a can of something, because for expiation for your sins, I will promise you absolution if you do that. And then you'll feel better about yourself. If the book's been out for 50 years, you better bring a few cases. All right. 3 Square's going to get it. Thank you. Your Honor, thank you very much.
Thank you. I mean, awesome. Just beautiful. Thank you. And we're so excited. When's groundbreaking on the library?
Oh, it's coming soon, Ron, and it's going to be open in a year and a half.
Well, we just got the land transfer just about a month ago, so we didn't start the schematic drawings until then. So we're looking at opening probably in early 2018.
We can do it faster. We can do it faster. Anyway, thank you. We love it. We hope we'll be there. And Karen Bramwell, thank you so much for all that you do. It's just great. Thanks, Karen. Thank you. Okay, we're going to continue right on because we didn't have our early redevelopment. Okay? Thank you.
We could go have a coffee with the Purple Heart.
We're just going to go right to it.
Peggy Carr, she's the director of the VA.
So much for everybody listening to me. You know, when you go to events and they say, I'm going to read a list of people that we're acknowledging, and please don't clap till I finish the list. How many times does anybody listen to that when they say, don't clap? After the first name, it's always clap. So I announced we'll continue right on with City Council. Did I not? Look. Oh, no, we have one loyal one. Oh, but he's slipping away, too. Gosh. Power of the mayor. 0. Who would like to volunteer for filling in the benches here? Anybody like to be a city council person? You have to live in the ward. Do we have anybody here from Ward 1? That's around UMC? How about Ward 2? Do you know where you live? Oh, okay, I see. All right, and then anybody from Ward 3, that's Councilman Barlow, Coffin's ward? Oh, yes, everybody. Does he pay you to come to the meetings? Because I can assure you, Councilman Coffin loves to be loved. I mean, there are those of us, we all like to be loved, but he is beyond the world. Ward 4, oh, here we got Ward 6. Anybody here from Ward 6? You were almost going to be filling in for him. You got, see?
You want to sit in for me?
See, that's what I'm trying to do. Did I ask everybody? We'll go right into this, right?
You did.
I did. So, okay.
We'll just do it our own.
So we'll give them exactly a minute, and if not, I mean you have to come up here and sit. We need to move this government forward. We have a lawyer, we have city staff, our clerk, we're ready to roll, and technology is always with us. So anybody that's hearing this in the back room, I'm going to fire you if you don't come out here in a minute. One more. He loves his job, see, Councilman Beers. Anybody that's coming out in a minute loves their job. Okay, Councilwoman, now we go. We're ready to roll. Here we go. Thank you. No. And Councilwoman, you know, has been a teacher and passionate about education and following directions. And so what I announced was when you go somewhere and they have a long list to read and they say, don't clap till I'm finished, there are always people that don't listen and clap. So here we are. All right, so Madam Clerk, are we on page agenda item 11? Okay, and now I've broken the book, so, okay. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. The amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. All comments made will be cross-referenced to those specific items. If anyone submitted a speaker card who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please come to the podium and state your name for the record. And at this point, we'll set it for a minute, and I see we have one card. Anthony Grisich, is that the way it's pronounced? Yes? Did you want to speak here, or you want to wait till you have the longer time at the very end? You know what I would suggest? Ask Mr. Vincent right here, because they don't seem to align with the agenda what you do. Thank you. Anyone else? Please state your name for the record.
Thank you. Tammy Peterson. I'm with the law firm of Brownstein Hyatt. I didn't submit a speaker card in advance.
You don't need to, especially if you're with Brownstein. Never do.
All right, thank you very much, Your Honor. I did want to address one of the items on your consent agenda this morning. It is item 21, and I do apologize for not bringing this to your attention before the public comment portion. But that item, I represent the property owner that is the subject of that item for your action today. And there's a statement in the agenda that negotiations were unsuccessful. Actually, we really haven't had any negotiations with the city. In fact, my client has recently obtained information in order to go forward with negotiations. I would want to clarify just to the council that we are certainly still willing.
Would you
to
like
go
it
forward.
obeyed?
Yes, if we could request that. That's
Okay, we'll enter that, and I hear Councilman Coffin speaking to that. Well, it is the first item on the consent agenda, so are we allowed to obey it at this point? Mr. Jerbick? If in fact, are we in public hearing at this point of our agenda, are we allowed to obey that item right from this time? Under 12? Our next one, we can obey it there? Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much.
If you want to pull it forward right now, you can do that.
Oh, okay. So could I have a motion to pull it forward, so she can go back to work and earn? Lawyers have to earn.
I know, I've known Tammy since she babysat for my children.
We will continue. with
And
public
consequently, I would be happy to pull this forward for discussion now, if you would like, and then, or do you prefer to obey it later to a time certain? I think that's important.
Yes, if I could, I have already contacted, and we have a tentative time frame to sit down with city representatives early next week. So perhaps if you want, is it possible to pass this for action at the next meeting, or?
Yes, we can obey, Tammy, we can obey it for 2 weeks. Obviously, it's time sensitive
Yes,
because
and I
this is the
understand.
very end of the couplet project. So I will be happy then to, under order of business, or item 12, is that any order of business available right now, Mayor? Am I in order to?
Mr. Jerbick said you may go ahead and
All
move
right.
to obey it right
Then,
now.
Your Honor, I will now move to obey this item, item number 12, until, item 21.
21.
Until the first meeting in May, whatever date that is according to the clerk, to the 4th of May, and we'll hear it that day.
Very good, thank you.
There have been some discussions, and so I guess I've seen your name on the documents, and so I'd be very happy to meet with you as soon as possible.
Very good, thank you.
And before you leave, Councilman Ross, Mayor Pro Tem would like to ask
Yeah,
something.
this is actually more for staff than for you, Mel. So I'm just concerned, is there a time issue? Will there be a time issue on this, Mr. Bowers,
No.
with your permission, Mayor, through the Public Works Director in regards to the abeyance of this? Because this is on just consent. So if I can get that answer, Mayor.
Okay. This,
Mayor Pro Tem David Bowers, Director of Public Works. No, we have no concern, and we appreciate the opportunity to work with the constituents to make sure it works out as
Okay.
well as possible.
thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we're still open at public hearing. Mr. Sanchez, with the gentleman who submitted the card, is that taken care of, or will he, or Mr. Vincent, will he be coming forward to make public comment?
Mayor, for the record, Mark Vincent, Chief Financial Officer. I think he's working with Karen Duddleston at the moment. It seems to be code enforcement related type things.
Wonderful. Thank you for your help there. Anyone else wishing to speak under this portion of the public comment? Hearing and seeing no one, we'll move on to agenda item number 12. Okay. That was 21. Okay, I see that the consent agenda, we have some things here. Items 14 through 56, with the exception of 21, which has been obeyed. I will have to pull forward agenda items 24 and 25.
Before we do that, Mayor,
Yeah.
I think Councilman Coffin needs to make a motion to obey agenda item 21.
Oh, you're right. I thought we did that.
And
You couldn't
if-
be more
and If
correct.
Councilman Coffin doesn't, I will make that motion to obey. Okay.
I thought you did too. I just didn't call for the vote.
Under item 12, we'll obey.
Going backwards, thank
Yeah,
you.
We'll obey.
Councilman Coffin had made a motion to obey to the 4th of May, the next city council meeting. Agenda item 21, would you please vote? And then we'll post. Thank you, good catch,
Thank you.
as always. And please vote, and please post. Councilman, do you want to, Councilman, vote orally, please? Okay, oral, all right. Thank you. And that motion carries. And now, in our consent agenda, we have just obeyed that item. Because I have a conflict, I have a son who's in the medical marijuana. Okay. No, didn't I do that? Okay, we'll do that one first. Goodness, and I am
I got you
really
covered, though.
well slept
You're doing
in
good.
everything. Just too much partying this morning. Okay, agenda item 13 for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference to the March 16th, 2016 regular city council meeting.
Motion to approve, Mayor.
There's a motion to approve. Please vote and please post. Councilman Coffin, oral approval on the minutes? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And please post. Now that carries. And they say third time is the charm.
You ready?
So now I'm ready for the consent agenda. And I will pull forward, because I have to abstain from agenda items. Now you're getting me all confused. 24 and 25. So, agenda, I think I'm going to pull those forward first.
Okay.
Agenda items 24 and 25, I'd like to pull those forward right now.
Oh. You want me to read them in the record?
Yes. Hold on. And let me get those into the, well, I'll let you do it since you got the
Okay.
pages.
I got it.
Please.
You ready, Luann?
Yes.
Agenda items 24 and 25. Agenda item 24 is possible action to approve a medical marijuana production establishment license, Alternative Medicine Association, LC, doing business as Alternative Medicine Association, LC, at 3375 Pinks Place in Clark County. I will make a motion to approve consent agenda item 24.
Okay, there's a motion to approve, and I will be abstaining because I have a son in the business. Will you post, please? That motion carries. Agenda item 25.
Agenda item
please.
25 is the possible action to approve a medical marijuana production establishment license, Pure Tonic Concentrates LLC, doing business as Pure Tonic Concentrates LLC at 130 Woodland Avenue in Reno, Nevada. I would make a motion to approve consent agenda item 25.
There's a motion to approve agenda item 25. Please vote and please post. And that motion carries. So, back into routine. Items 14 through 56 in consent, save for agenda item 21, which has been obeyed, on the consent agenda are considered to be routine or recommended for approval by departments and may be enacted in one motion, and we did just do agenda items 24, 25. So, will you make a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda items 14 through 56 minus 21, 24, and 25.
And are there any agenda items that anybody wants to pull forward here? Okay, that's the motion. If you'll please vote and please post. Motion carries. We are speeding right along here. Okay, agenda item 57. Report by the Department of Youth Development and Social Innovations regarding the City of Las Vegas being named an All-American City AAC Award finalist for 2016. This is in reference to, oh my gosh, all awards. I mean, Dr. Morris Hibbler is the finest dressed member of our staff always. You blow us away today.
Good morning, Mayor and members of the council. For the record, Lisa Morris Hibbler, Director of Youth Development and Social Innovation. And Mayor, with your permission, let's get this party started with the Legacy High School Marching Band and the Las Vegas All-America City Ambassadors. Woo! Let's give a big thank you to Dr. Middleton and the Las Vegas High School Marching Band and all of our citizens and stakeholders that participated in the Citizens Parade. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, Legacy. Sorry. Legacy High School Band. Sorry, Dr. Middleton. Thank you so much. You can see how excited we are about Las Vegas being a finalist for the 2016 All-America City Award. The National Civic League is a 120-year-old nonpartisan nonprofit organization based in Denver, Colorado. The Civic League's mission is accomplished by fostering and sharing promising practices of local government and public engagement and celebrating the progress that can be achieved when people work together. Established in 1949, the All-America City Award is given by the National Civic League to 10 communities in recognition of their outstanding civic accomplishments. On March 23, 2016, the City of Las Vegas was announced a finalist as an All-American City Award finalist for 2016. Described by George H. Gallup as the Nobel Prize for Constructive Citizenship, the award celebrates exemplary grassroots community problem solving. This year, the focus of the 2016 All-America City Award is on communities that have taken innovative action to engage residents in ensuring that all children are healthy and supported to succeed in school and life. The award spurs communities to innovate and create stronger connections between residents and nonprofit and government leaders. The Civic League recognizes that innovation starts at the local level with neighbors and community groups coming together to take action. The All-American Civic Award is a celebration of those efforts and a platform for sharing innovation, inspiration, and insight with other communities across the country. The AAC Award offers the opportunity for both recognition and reflection. This picture gives some insight into the production that communities prepare to tell their stories to a jury at the competition. The average delegation size is 26, and some communities have brought as many as 200 members. Since 1949, more than 500 communities have won the award, some as many as 5 times, demonstrating innovation, inclusiveness, civic engagement, and cross-sector collaboration by tackling and creating impact on pressing local challenges. I'm excited to say that although Nevada has never won this prestigious award, and we're one of only 2 states that have not, this is the second time that a Nevada city has been a finalist and a first time for Southern Nevada. We know we are an all-America city. As a finalist community, we have demonstrated how innovation, impact, inclusiveness, civic engagement, and cross-sector collaboration has been used to give our young citizens the tools for success in school and life. We know that education drives a healthy economy and impacts all areas of our community. Students who drop out of school before graduation cost our community more than $1 billion in lost lifetime earnings each year, which is detrimental to our economy. As a result, community leaders and stakeholders have been working tirelessly to improve academic achievement and change the national perception of Las Vegas's commitment to student success. The Las Vegas application highlighted the community's dedication to transforming the lives of youth by showcasing 3 projects: the Education Collective Impact related to Downtown Achieves and My Brother's Keeper. Batters included Leadership Teen Councils and the Mayor's Faith Initiative. Our community had numerous accomplishments, but the application was limited to 2,000 words per section. So some notable accomplishments that were highlighted including uniting with early childhood policy leaders and providers, such as the Nevada Department of Education, United Way of Southern Nevada, Children's Advocacy Alliance, Nevada Institute for Children's Research and Policy at UNLV, along with the University of Utah Innovation Lab, to help the city develop a universal pre-K initiative. The city currently has 3 pre-K sites under development. In 2014, the city entered into a unique partnership with the Gay and Lesbian Center, commonly referred to as the Center, to co-locate college classes and youth programming at the site. The partnership also utilizes skilled staff from the center to provide transgender-specific cultural competency and diversity training for homeless service providers. Through the Keep Las Vegas Beautiful initiative, community gardens and murals are used to promote parent and community engagement. School gardens promote teachers and students with learning experiences to enhance both STEM academics and healthy living opportunities, along with other effective and long-lasting garden-based teaching programs. All of our My Brother's Keeper and Downtown Achieves schools have the community gardens and the murals, and we also have provided some other schools with that as well, such as Vegas Verdes. Through the RECAP, members of the Mayor's Faith Initiative work collaboratively with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and the community to reduce homicides, shootings, and youth adult violence. I am saddened to say that this week alone, RECAP has had to activate twice in response to gang-related shootings in our community. In an effort to address childhood hunger, 3 Square Food Bank partnered with the City of Las Vegas and the Clark County School District on a food program for children who attended 44 City of Las Vegas Safe Key sites. That program has now expanded so that we are also offering open feeding sites to help feed children in our community. Through the YNAP program, which the National Civic League thought was one of our shining stars, youth acquire skills in leadership and teamwork while contributing to their communities. Since the inception in 2000, more than 325 projects have been granted $375,000. But more amazingly is that students have brought in an astounding $3.64 million in matching funds. Our first project, Education Collective Impact, partnerships with more than 60 education service providers and community stakeholders have created synergy for 2 collective impact projects, the Las Vegas Downtown Achieves and the Las Vegas My Brother's Keeper. One of the major achievements was the STAR attendance program. Chronic absence is defined as missing 10% or more of school in one school year. Chronic absence in the 1st grade is associated with lower 6th grade test scores and higher levels of suspension. And with every year of chronic absenteeism, the likelihood a student drops out of school is increased. Attendance is even more important for graduation for students in poverty. As one of 4 Nevada children are living in poverty, reducing chronic absenteeism is a focus within both the My Brother's Keeper and Las Vegas Downtown Achieves. The STAR attendance campaign is based upon successful Downtown Achieves pilot program at J.T. McWilliams Elementary School. In a 4-month pilot program, perfect attendance was increased by 14%. And as you will remember, Las Vegas was honored by the Campaign for Grade Level Reading as one of 30 communities to receive the 2014 Pacesetter Award. Batteries included Leadership Team Councils represents our combined commitment to youth excellence and achievement and is a collaboration between the City of Las Vegas, the Clark County School District, UNLV, and Nevada partners. Essentially, the goal of the initiative is to increase graduation rates, reduce the number of disconnected youth, and mentor our next generation of leaders in our community. Over the past 4 years, 100% of the Batteries Included seniors have graduated on time. All America City Award evaluators gave especially high marks to the 11-11-11 project, which was an intensive 3-week film training program conducted by Cameron Miller with Studio 11 Films, where students were introduced to all aspects of film production, from idea conception through production and finally post-production. What makes the 11-11 project unique? Its requirement for students to work on an actual film production set during their training. Their work results in students obtaining their first official film credit on the IMDb, which is the Internet Movie Database. The hard work of these young people was debuted in the form of a Hollywood-style premiere with red carpet, media, and paparazzi, and shown at the Brendan Palms Theater and the Town Square 16 Theater. Dating back to 2008, the faith community has been a pivotal part of our community safety net. With the motto of changing the city through faith in action, faith leaders, nonprofits, and law enforcement have united to address various social issues. The faith leaders played a key role in the Crystal Darkness anti-methamphetamine prevention campaign and the Violence Reduction Safe Village initiative. They assisted with the Traffic No More documentary that was shown across our state. And now more than 150,000 Clark County District high school students have access to the Traffic No More prevention and awareness material. The documentary also was Emmy nominated. They assisted with the annual spring celebration and Foster Connection event that's been hosted by Mayor Pro Tem Steve Ross at the Floyd Lamb Park, which just held last week, which brings several thousand potential foster and adoptive families. Yay. Many houses of worship do not discuss the addiction topic with their members, but the Addictions Work Group has started the conversation and equipped their leaders on addiction topics so that the house of worship can become the center where healing occurs. Understanding the impact of addiction and supporting recovery, strategies and tools for clergy and other congregational leaders is being provided throughout our congregations. The Homeless Working Group recruits more volunteers and donations for several annual events and initiatives such as Project Homeless Connect and the annual homeless census. Through hydration teams, more than 600 cases of water are distributed to the homeless during summer months when temperatures can reach over 120 degrees. I would like to thank all of our partners in the community that commit countless hours to improving academic outcomes and lives of our youth and their families. Las Vegas is a super city, a place where people love to live, work, recreate, and raise families. So, some might want to know how to get involved. You can join in and help our city win this highest award that can be earned by any community in the United States. Simply put, everyone deserves to share what they think, and Las Vegas deserves to be named the All-America City. You can share your stories on social media using the hashtag SendCityToSuperCity and hashtag AAC16. You can see us on First Fridays. You can see us in the El Dorado Parade, and we'll be out in the community everywhere. People have asked if they can donate, and we are working on setting up an account with the Nevada Community Foundation to support the community delegation of 30 people that are teachers, principals, students, residents, nonprofit leaders that will be attending, that will be traveling to Denver, Colorado on June 17th. Mayor, City Council members, I want to thank each of you for your vision, leadership, and of course your guts to make some tough decisions related to ensuring Las Vegas's youth are given the tools for success in school and life. Funding pre-K development, educational support programs such as tutoring, literacy, after-school programs, and teacher recruitment are just a few examples of how you've responded to our citizenry. Embracing our faith leaders, promoting strong partnerships with the community, stakeholders, businesses, and philanthropists are all the reasons why Las Vegas is a super city and our home. Thank you.
Beautiful. What a way. And students, thank you so much for this wonderful morning. I mean, you are us. We are one, and we are a super city because of each one of you and everybody, especially how you've done this, Dr. Hibbler. I mean, really incredible pulling together, and we know it will be a super, super day where this will happen. This will happen. So please thank the band, too. I see they've already left, and I know Councilwoman wants to say a few things, and probably the rest of council, please.
First of all, how impressive when I read through all that you had included within your application, how impressive everything is that we've done in the city. And Lisa, you've done a magnificent job in leading. All of the people who work with you have that passion and that persistence so that it will happen. I asked a question, I just want to clarify this. I asked a question yesterday in the CMO briefing because I said there were parts that I don't know if we finished. Well, when I went back to my papers, I realized that that was because I had the draft proposal of community and schools at the back end of it. And I said, my goodness, this is it. We haven't done it yet, but this is it. And I know you're already moving from where you are now, being considered for an all-American city. You're moving into what, for years, educators have said needs to be done, a few educators, I should say. And this is where the state money should go. It should go into something that's systemic. It should go into something that hits every school. It should go into making us a community where Metro and the city and the district and all these other agencies work together, and community schools. But that's why I questioned, because I was in awe of this, and I said how beautifully you put it together. And I know that that's the next thing you're working on, and I congratulate you on that, and certainly lots of congratulations for what you've done so far.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, I can't resist this at all. That is a long list, and how impressive. And Director, it's not just you, but it's that amazing team behind you with the bling bling hats on. You guys rock this city. Thank you for what you do. You know, we do our part, but gosh darn, we can't be as effective as we want to be without you guys and making Las Vegas as awesome as it is. So thank you, every one of you, for what you guys do and continue to do for our residents and for our youth and all those other great things that you listed. Doctor, you did a great job. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Wonderful. Thank you all. Just great. Thank you.
And Mayor, I just want to say that I know I have taxed David's team to the limit, but I want to thank David Riggleman and his team. I want to thank all of our teams. I have too many to name, but if everybody that's been helping out with the All-American Cities work, and please stand up. And
everybody, that means everybody in this room, I'm sure.
This is a major undertaking, and it requires a lot of team power, and so I want to thank everybody for their assistance.
Great. Thank you all. Do you want your hats back?
No, you can keep those.
Oh, good. Thank you. We'll know you when we see you. Thanks so much. This is so exciting. Good luck. Appreciate it. We are a unique city. Okay, moving on to agenda item 58, report by the Department of Planning regarding an update on the status of Las Vegas Downtown Master Plan.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tom Perigo, Planning Director, for the record. Very exciting to be before you today to give you a briefing and an overview of the Downtown Master Plan. It's been many, many months in the making, with hundreds and hundreds of people participating and providing us input, and we're very excited today to present you the 90% plan. It will be coming back to you, second meeting in May, for your consideration. Mr. Summerfield presented it to Planning Commission last Tuesday. It will be going to them for their final consideration on May 10th. So with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Summerfield, who's done an excellent job for us leading this effort, and he's going to give you a briefing. I do have some copies of the PowerPoint. I apologize I didn't hand them out yesterday in briefings, but I just got them this morning, so we will hand those out right now.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor, Council. For the record, Robert Summerfield, City of Las Vegas, Department of Planning. Okay, so I'm just going to real quick go through a brief update on where we're at with the Downtown Master Plan as preparation for us coming before you next month to ask for your consideration to adopt that plan. So real quick, I just want to remind everybody of the diverse team that's been involved in this planning effort. So we have an internationally recognized planning firm in, they've actually merged now. It used to just be RTKL, but now it's Clarison RTKL Associates. We have as our lead, but we also have local representation on this team. Feist Foley Warren has done an amazing job in our public relations, a local team. Chuck Kubat from Kubat Consulting, who was a part of the team that delivered the Symphony Park Master Plan, also a part of this team. We have Kimley Horn and Associates, who's been participating in some of our transportation planning. Again, a huge component of this plan, and thanks to the RTC, who actually helped fund this planning effort because of the emphasis on the transportation and land use mix. Additionally, I want to recognize, and I won't go through all the names, but I want to recognize our Executive Steering Committee. They have contributed just so many hours of effort, not just in formal meetings, but in reviewing the various documents that have been prepared for this effort, in talking to their various constituencies. And so I just want to be sure to thank, for all their time and effort, our Executive Steering Committee, of which we will have members here next month when we present this to talk about their experience and to talk about what they're hoping to get out of this master plan. Okay, so as Tom had indicated, we have received the 90% draft. Hopefully all of you received a copy of that yesterday in briefings. It is a pretty weighty document, and city staff has been working its way through those comments or through the document to provide comments back to the consultant team. As you can imagine, with a 277-page document, that is a significant undertaking, but we have reached out in a multi-departmental effort to ensure that this downtown plan is as solid as possible going into the May 18th City Council meeting. I just really want to remind everybody kind of what all we've done so far. So the process, how we've gotten to this preferred alternative for the master plan, we began back almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, with just a basic inventory. So we had the entire consultant team out here doing site visits, walking the length and breadth of the downtown area, including the expansion areas that we've added, doing just a real deep dive into our history and what it means to be downtown Las Vegas. That helped us establish our vision document and our vision for downtown. This council participated in a special workshop that was devoted in large part to having discussions around what is the vision going forward for downtown that's going to guide our growth and development as we move into the next 10, 20, even 30 years now. From that vision, the team developed 3 alternative plans for consideration. Again, we worked with the community, the executive steering committee, and the council on selecting that preferred alternative, and we've been working through multiple iterations of that preferred alternative to get us to where we're at now. One of the chief components of this planning effort that's been different in terms of its execution than some of our previous planning efforts has just been the level of public engagement that we've done. In large part, we were in all of the work that was done by the Southern Nevada team that did Southern Nevada Strong. And in fact, they just won a National American Planning Award for that public engagement. And so one of our efforts here was to try to be as engaged with the community as possible. And that resulted in 10 meetings, either with the Executive Steering Committee or with the City Council specifically. Those were very detailed, deep dive conversations into the direction of the plan. We had a number of outreach events that resulted in 2,400 participants from our community who showed up in person to review information, to hear what we were doing, and to provide comments and ask questions. That level of engagement has just been huge for this project. In the early days of this project, as we were getting familiar with the needs of downtown, particularly the consultant team was getting engaged with that, we held interviews with individuals and small groups where we reached out to more than 100 people and had actual in-person and over-the-phone interviews with stakeholders in the community. We had, and this is infancy for planning, although our communications department has been tremendous. Jennifer Davies and Diana Paul have been huge in helping us get the word out on social media. So one of the things that we know we're going to improve on for future efforts is this this component, but still 900 people shared, liked, tweeted. I'm not sure quite what Instagram calls their thing, but you know, all of those kinds of things to help spread the word on this. And all of this has resulted in more than 20,000 views on the website of this material through the course of this planning process. And I just cannot underscore how important that has been to what we've been doing. As I mentioned, the public engagement process, we began with a kickoff in October of 2014, and that has gone all the way up through now. Our last, what we called our final kind of open house, was at Planning Commission on last Tuesday. That was really in order to have the document ready to go for council consideration at the middle of next month. That was really the last opportunity for any additional public comment. It's good to know that we've actually received so much public comment that people are energized to see us actually implement this plan, and they're kind of ready to go. So the team is right now working on all those comments we did receive from the public. One of the things that this plan does, and I want to continually iterate this, is this plan, different than the current Centennial Plan, really talks about downtown Las Vegas as the downtown for the region. It is the center of the Las Vegas Valley. And so we need to think of it in that context, in that much broader context than just, this is the city's downtown. This is really the valley's downtown. We are central to all the residential neighborhoods. We are the history of gaming. It started here, and we all know the story of how it moved to the Strip, but it started in downtown and continues in downtown. And one of the things in this plan is we want to continue to stress the importance of gaming and tourism to the future of downtown Las Vegas. Even as we have all the conversations about diversifying our economy and looking for some of these high-tech things, it's really important, and this plan does stress that gaming is still, and tourism particularly, are huge industries, and we need to continue to support those. Just a reminder to everyone, you all helped shape this vision. This is the vision going forward. Basically, this is an amalgamation of the three concepts that came through all of the public comment that we received. And really, it speaks to our history, but moving forward. And I think that's important because, as we know from our communications effort, our brand new website, this theme for downtown is really the broader theme for the city of Las Vegas. It's being true to who we are, but continuing to look forward to those opportunities as we move into the future. Downtown district. So it's important to note that this downtown map looks very different than our current Centennial Plan map. We have added areas such as the medical district. We've added the historic West Side. We have added what we're calling the Founders District, a very unique historical neighborhood and commercial corridor on East Charleston that connects up from Las Vegas Boulevard out to Eastern and Fremont in the Five Points area, which had previously been in the plan. But this kind of brings all of that together and provides us, particularly as I move into the next slide, some opportunities as we look to our transit and transportation investment future and how that translates into our planning efforts. And this map is basically the central premise of the downtown plan. If it has one key core that we are aiming for, it's targeting our investment around our public and private investments going forward around these huge capital investments that we either have already done with what our public works and the RTC has done with some of our street improvements, but also what we as a community are looking to do with our investments in transportation, particularly the Maryland Light Rail or Modern Streetcar line, what the Transportation and Improvement Business Plan calls for with a potential light rail line on Las Vegas Boulevard, what the citywide mobility plan is calling for with a higher order transit line that would go the entire length and breadth of Charleston. So this plan really emphasizes making those investments in a very strategic way around these transit hubs. And one of the things I'd like to point to in this slide is while we have certain nodes, certain hubs in districts where we're identifying, for instance, the medical district as an employment hub, while we see very clearly that the medical district will have a high emphasis on employment with our hospitals there and just the wide breadth of opportunity that will come with the Las Vegas UNLV Medical School, we see that also as a mixed-use hub. So none of these hubs are exclusive to any particular category. They just may have a central or a top priority. So for instance, the medical district, the top priority there is probably more of an employment focus. But the reality is we are encouraging in this plan, in this vision and policy guidance, for a mix of uses. So we want to see residential, particularly as we build on the UNLV presidents in the medical school. We want to see some student-level housing. We want to see some housing that would allow practitioners at the hospital and employees at the various medical offices the opportunity to live close to where they work so they can walk to work. Imagine that in a medical district, having that healthy lifestyle of being able to walk to your work instead of driving in from some of the outskirts areas. And for instance, in the East Fremont area, we're calling that primarily a lifestyle hub. And while we do anticipate that to be one of the places where we will see significant residential growth and new restaurants and retail, we also see that as an opportunity for new employment, new offices to go in some more, unique fashions, reusing some of our existing buildings, as we've already seen with the Downtown Project folks and some of their partners with the repurposing some of the old hotels and making them kind of mix of uses and opportunities. So it's a very, very broad and mixed activity that we're looking for in this plan. And so some of the plan offerings that I want to just bring forward and point out. We do have approximately 640 vacant or severely underutilized properties in this planning area, or 640 acres, I'm sorry, of the 2,800 acres that encompass this new downtown planning area. That's a significant amount of land for infill. In fact, as soon as I finish up today, I'm going to be going, RTC and the EPA are hosting an infill workshop on what are some strategies that we can use to bring developers in and help them participate in the vision that we have, not just for downtown, but the whole Maryland corridor. And so having this much land available for development is a huge opportunity for us. Targeting some additional niche kind of industries, again, continuing to go after high tech, or particularly, again, with the medical district, looking at those synergies between medical education and med tech jobs and industries to bring to town. Of course, improved connectivity through all the various transportation projects that are underway. Really creating that urban vibrancy by clustering mixed-use opportunities in these nodes and taking advantage of the transportation system. Increasing and improving upon the local retail and entertainment offerings that we have downtown. Providing additional opportunity for convention space and tourism. Again, we want to continue to support our local gaming and tourism activities, our resorts, and our hotel spaces. And so what can we do to bring in additional convention space and improve our tourism in the downtown area with all the various partners that involves? Arts and culture, downtown Las Vegas is becoming well known for being the center for arts and culture. We have the cultural corridor that's being added to the planning area north of the 515-95. We have the Smith Center, which is a tremendous anchor opportunity to continue to draw activity to the Symphony Park area. We have the Arts District that's constantly looking at new ways to broaden its appeal to the community. So really having a focus on that arts and culture. And then finally, moving into a place like other cities where we are promoting the opportunity for businesses to collaborate amongst themselves and not necessarily have the city be the lead on everything, but maybe look at a downtown management or a business improvement district for the broader downtown. We have two sort of business improvement districts with the Fremont Street Experience that's proved to be very successful there, and with the Fremont East Entertainment District. But what are the opportunities to take some of their successes in utilizing those services and putting those out to some of the other districts, like the Arts District, which would be a huge opportunity for them. This slide here gives you kind of a representation. Again, the plan is very much about vision. It is about what the vision for downtown could be. And so you're going to see lots of illustrations in the plan that show if we continue to do the things that we've been talking about and some of the things that are involved and recommended in this plan, this is what we could achieve. It's not saying that we have to have this particular type of development in this exact location. It's saying that if we buy into the vision that the community has put forth, that these are the types of developments that we could achieve, and this is the kind of growth that we could see in these areas. And so it's very illustrative and kind of amazing when you think about where we could end up if we do everything the way I think we all know that we can. This gives just kind of a very basic matrix of some of the investment strategies that could come to play. A few of these we're already underway with. Others are ones that we need to continue to look at and examine as we move into the next phase of the downtown, which would be the implementation of the vision and policy document that you will have before you on the 18th. So that brings me to next steps. So we have a few more meetings where I will be presenting. On April 27th, next Wednesday, I will be presenting to the Historic Planning Commission. They have shown a very keen interest in this, particularly as we continue to work with preserving some of our heritage in downtown. So we want to continue to get their input. We will go back, as Tom mentioned, to the Planning Commission on May 10th to get their recommendation on moving this plan forward. And then we are scheduled on May 18th, we will have a much fuller, robust conversation and presentation on actually adopting the downtown Las Vegas master plan. But that's not the end of the work. May 18th this is not a plan meant to sit on a shelf like sadly so many others have. This plan is meant to be out there and be in use. And so the next steps for the City of Las Vegas, and particularly the Department of Planning and the other departments that we partner with, particularly Public Works and Communications and some of the others, is to continue to work with the community on the implementation phase of this plan. The very first thing that we need to do over the summer is we need to align the current regulatory approach that's in the Downtown Centennial Plan to line it up as well as we can in a short time with the vision that hopefully you will adopt May 18th in this master plan. And then over the remainder of the summer and into the fall and winter, we need to really work with the community and the individual groups in these districts to come up with the regulatory structure that will help us achieve this plan, as well as continue to work with EUD and company on what are those incentives that we can deploy out into the community to help our development community invest in downtown Las Vegas. And with that, if there are any questions, I'd be happy to take care of those, or we'll be back to see you May 18th.
Thank you, Mr. Summerfield. Great report, very exciting, obviously a huge collaborative effort, and we understand that. And for those who are working with you so diligently on this, we know the effort. Hopefully it does not just become a report, as you said, that sits on the shelf, that it really is implemented with some success in the very near future, and then steps and timelines to move forward as we see it. And I know we do have some questions, but Councilwoman Tarkanian, please.
I agree with what the mayor said. I really like your attitude of getting it done. Don't let it sit on the shelf. And just because it's done doesn't mean it's a static type of thing. It's something that is flexible and will be moving and transitioning as we ourselves do. I just wanted to ask if on your 7th slide, there you have University Medical Center, and all the rest of the way through you have Las Vegas Medical Center, which is the correct name of that. It says downtown in the region, that slide.
Back further.
Yeah, whoops, that one right there. It says University Medical Center. The university is a part of it, but there are others not connected with the university that are a part of it too. And so it's really the Las Vegas Medical Center. Medical District is what we call it, the Las Vegas Medical District. And I just wanted to clarify that because sometimes confusion has resulted, and then people ask, well, why is that? I'm here too, and so this helps. But the rest of the way, you did have Las Vegas. Thank you very much. I think it's great.
Thank you. It's exciting. Councilman Anthony, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I spoke to a couple of folks that were involved in this master plan, and they were very impressed with how much the public was allowed to be involved in putting this document together, and a lot of their input was included in this. So I just want to thank you for doing that, because a lot of times when we do these things, we kind of forget to have the public comment and public involvement and actually using their ideas. So you did a great job on that, on making sure that they were involved. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And that was a report, so no motion is required. And again, here we are with medical marijuana. And so, Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem, would you take this over, please?
Certainly, Mayor. Certainly. This is agenda item 59, discussion for possible action regarding the approval of medical marijuana dispensary establishment license Nevada Wellness Project, LLC, doing business as Downtown Dispensary at 823 South 3rd Street in Ward 3. Councilman Coffin. Ms. Duddleston.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. For the record, Karen Duddleston, Deputy Planning Director for Business Licensing. The application before you is in order for your approvals. Staff recommends your consideration of this application today.
Thank you, Ms. Duddleston. Let's see. Councilman Coffin.
I'm going to move for approval unless the applicants feel compelled to have to speak about the issue. They're wagging their heads no. Therefore, I now move for approval of item 59.
There's a motion for approval of agenda item 59. Please cast your votes. And please post. Mr. Jerbick, did you have to say something?
I just want to ask the clerk to take the mayor's disclosure that she made on the earlier items 24 and 25 and include that same disclosure on this item.
And that motion passes. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We're excited to get started.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
It's an auspicious day.
Thank you, Ms. Duddleston. Okay. Moving on to agenda item 60, boards and commissions for possible action. Traffic and Parking Commission, Margot Erickson. Term expiration was 5/16/2016. Ms. Erickson occupies the Ward 2 resident seat and was originally appointed to this seat in May of 2012. She is eligible and wishes to be reappointed. Let's see. Procedure for this board requires appointment by the mayor and confirmation by the city council. Options are reappoint Ms. Erickson or appoint a new Ward 2 representative. I will hand this to Councilman Beers.
I would move to reappoint Ms. Erickson to the
There's a motion to
Traffic and
reappoint
Parking Commission.
Ms. Erickson to the Traffic and Parking Commission. Agenda item 60. Please vote. Please cast your votes. And that motion passes. Congratulations. We are now on agenda item 61, recommending, pardon me? Certainly, Councilwoman.
To the clerk's office, that I know we have one that needs to be done for Ward 1. We thought we had somebody, we could give you the name today, but they changed their mind, so we'll work on the next one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilwoman.
Keep going.
Okay, we're on agenda item 61, recommending committee bills eligible for adoption at this meeting. Bill number 201622. Councilman Anthony, would you like the bill read?
Yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Bill number 2016-22, in order to extend the boundaries of the city, particular side land be annexed to make its inhabitants subject to laws, obligations, and benefits of the city, and to provide for other related matters.
Move for approval. There's a motion to approve agenda item 61. Please vote. And please post. That motion passes. We are now on agenda item 62. Bill number 201623. Councilman Anthony, would you like the bill read?
Yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Bill number 2016-23, in order to amend the LVMC Title 6.90, clarifying the licensing requirements and costs of licensure for farmers market promoters and vendors, and to provide for related matters.
Move for approval.
There's a motion to approve agenda item 62. Please vote. Cast your votes. And please post. Keep going.
Yeah. Doing so well.
Motion passes. Okay, we're on agenda item 63. This is recommending bills eligible for adoption at a later meeting. Items 63 through 65, bill numbers 2016-24 through 2016-26 will be heard at a later meeting. We will move to the new bills. New bills, items 66 through 70, bills number 201627 and 2016-31 will be heard at the recommending committee meeting on Monday, May 2nd, 2016. Mr. Jerbick.
Thank you, Councilman. Bill number 2016-27, an ordinance concerning the city of Las Vegas, Nevada, special improvement district number 1485, Alta Drive landscape maintenance FY 2017, providing for the payment and costs of expenses of maintaining street beautification improvements, assessing the cost of maintenance against the accessible lots, tracts, and parcels of land benefited by said maintenance, ratifying, approving, and confirming all action previously taken, and prescribing details in connection herewith. Bill number 2016-28, an ordinance concerning the City of Las Vegas, Nevada, Special Improvement District number 1516, Fremont Street Maintenance District FY 2017, Las Vegas Boulevard to 8th Street, providing for the payment of the costs and expenses of a neighborhood improvement project, assessing the cost of the project against the accessible lots, tracts, and parcels of land benefited by said improvements, ratifying, approving, and confirming all action previously taken, prescribing details in connection herewith. Bill number 2016-29, in order to extend the boundaries of the city to particular to be annexed, to make its Tampa subject to laws, obligations, and benefits of the city, and to provide for related matters. Bill number 2016-30, in order to extend the boundaries of the city to particular the laws land to be annexed, to make its inhabitants subject to the laws, obligations, and benefits of the city, and to provide for related matters. And finally, Bill number 2016-31, in order to extend the boundaries of the city to particular the land to be annexed, to make its inhabitants subject to the laws, obligations, and benefits of the city, and to provide for related matters.
Thank you, Mr. Jervik. New bills 2016-27 through 2016-31 are assigned to Council Members Ross, Anthony, and Councilman Coffin. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And Councilman Coffin has said that he is physically able to return, so when Councilman Barlow is back, it would then inure, of course, to, and thank you for your service on the committee. You know, I'm looking at all of you out in the audience, and I'm wondering, we've gone through the entire morning session and are going to recess for lunch. I'm wondering, we love having you here. We love an audience. Is there a reason in particular? Was there a bill or an issue of why you are here? And I mean, since there are a goodly number of you, are you representing a school? Here we go. Okay. Okay, your leader is here. Yes, sir. Your name, please.
My name is Charles Thompson, Jr.
How are you? Welcome to City Hall.
Thank you.
And tell us what, was there a particular bill or something coming up that you're interested in, or is this a class of?
It's a class, ma'am. We are from Desert Rose High School.
Oh, go Desert Rose.
Mr. Barlow came and did Black History Month, and he invited us, our kids, to come out.
Did he get an A? Did he get an A for his presentation?
Yes, ma'am, he did. He was good.
Okay.
Matter of fact, we even give him a plaque.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And as you can see, he's not here today. He's in Philadelphia.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
and was he going to?
All he was going to do was the same thing you're doing right now, just introduce the school and say what a wonderful time he had at Desert Rose. And, you know,
well, we're proud of Desert Rose. I don't know what he was doing with you all, but I know he loves to mingle and loves to be out there all the time and is so proud of the school. So we're thrilled. And are there any particular questions or anything? We are going to recess for lunch, but does anybody have any question that one of us could answer? Could you stand up, come up to the microphone, give us your name, and why are you sitting all by yourself? Okay. Okay, and you'll be able to see yourself as it repeats over and over again on TV. So as cute as you are, and I'm allowed to say that because I'm the mayor, your name, please, for the record.
My name is Brian.
No, the whole name.
Brian Gutierrez.
Okay, welcome. And so is this a question or a statement?
I think more of a statement.
Okay, please, we welcome it.
Well, I just wanted to tell you I'm glad to be part of, to show that I'm here to care and see how everything gets passed along to make this state better, or Las Vegas.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that, and we know this All-American City Award, I mean, that you were here and so enthusiastic about it. We were just delighted and so thrilled for all of you. And so what level are most of these, are these seniors? Are these mixed? What do we have?
Mainly all seniors and juniors.
Juniors and seniors, wonderful. What a life ahead you have.
Yeah.
It's just really exciting. We're thrilled, and we're thrilled that you've given the high school such a great name. We're very proud. So do you want to find out, do any of them have any questions for anybody?
The kid right there. Tomash, come up.
Come on up front if you had a question.
He just, come on, bro. Come on. He's a little shy. Sometimes I have to drag him out.
Well, do you know his question? You could ask
No,
it.
I really don't, but he likes to keep himself.
Okay, here comes Mr. Thompson back.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, these may be high school students, but they look a little bit more mature to me.
No, ma'am. this is the faculty of Desert
You want to
Rose
stand
also.
at the mic so we can hear you? Introduce your names too, please.
Go ahead.
My name is Dawn Winchitanis, and I'm a teacher, U.S. history teacher.
Wonderful. Great.
My name is Karen Leggett-Gayton, and I am the learning strategist at Desert Rose.
Wonderful.
My name's Bruce Nelson. I teach construction trades at Desert Rose High School.
Oh, how fabulous. What a great career that is.
My name is Mark Shappett. I'm the site-based technician. I take care of the computers at Desert Rose.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we thank you all for coming, and we certainly, as we approach the end of the year and graduation, we wish you all a wonderful year, and hopefully you've asked Councilman Barlow to be your graduation speaker, or at least a piece of that.
We haven't did that.
Oh, well, it's
That's
always
gonna be up to-
good.
It's going to be up to the staff, to the students who's going to be the guest speaker. Well, I'll bring that to them.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. And Ms. Kramer here has something to say to you, or she's going to bite your ear. I don't know what she's doing up there. Oh, how do you recommend that be done?
Are they going to come down?
Yeah, they're going to come down. We'll do a group picture.
We'll do a group picture.
We're going to do a group picture.
I don't know if they got a copy of our agenda, if you wanted one. Why don't we adjourn and take a...
Well, they're going to, if we sit here, if we come behind, come close together here, and they're all standing or kneeling there, it'll all shoot up, and that will be a good picture, I think. And I have faith that Ms. Kramer knows how to put everybody. She's going to organize this.
Okay, can I get someone to take a knee in the front row?
She is good. Please, everyone, if you would, if everyone would listen to the Commandant up there, Commandant Kramer. She knows how to do everything. She's really tough. This is a tough lady. Are you listening to her? Okay. And could I ask council to come close? We'll stand up under the signal, under the seal. Yes.
Let's push the chairs back.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Get all together.
Good.
I'll just stand right here. May I want to stand in the middle?
Okay, come close.
Yeah. Hey, let me find out. I'm going to ask the Northwest Area Command Captain. I'll call you back, okay?
Okay. Is Shane out there picturing too?
Where's Shane?
He left. Oh, she's gonna snap and paste?
So, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, what are the things the kids do these days?
I don't know.
Instagram.
I
That's
want
it.
everybody
Instagram.
to look at our city clerk staff.
Harry, you still taking pictures?
Hey, Bob, panorama, if you ran really hard, you could get in it twice. Good old days. That's a tablet.
You got it? Great.
I'd like a galley feed on 7, bro. Those old last pictures taken with a really good camera?
Yes.
Very slowly rotated?
Yeah.
You could.
Oh, I have some.
These phones are so high-tech these days.
Aren't they fabulous? All right, don't go away 1 second. The Commandant is going to get in the middle and shoot us.
Lieutenant Kramer.
At the start, you run like...
1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 1, 2, 3. And because you guys are teenagers, we'll get one silly picture for you guys.
Silly picture.
Ready? What do you want us to do, Harry?
Turn our backs.
Turn your back.
You gotta wait. I know it.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming, and you were a great audience. And we are going to recess until 1 o'clock when we're scheduled to reconvene. Thank you.
That's too funny. Thanks.
They were great. Okay, everybody, we are back from our lunch recess and are reconvened. Is everybody here? We're here. Okay. This is agenda item 71. Possible action, any items from the afternoon session that the council staff and/or applicant wish to be stricken, table, withdrawn, held in abeyance to a future meeting, may be brought forward and acted upon at this time. And the show is yours, Mayor Pro Tem. What do you got?
Let's see what I got here. Discussion item, agenda item 74 is a discussion item, ZON 62700. Applicant owner is 2316 Charleston Mob LLC at 2316 West Charleston Boulevard. Applicant has asked that that be obeyed to the May 18th, 2016 City Council meeting. Discussion items 75 through 78, ZON 62349, WVR 62529, VAC 62354, and TMP 62355. Applicant Richmond American Homes owner Gulano Carlito C&D Revocable Living Trust on 5 acres at the southeast corner of Deer Springs Way and Grand Canyon Drive. The applicant has asked that to be obeyed till the June 15th, 2016 meeting. Agenda item 79 is a discussion item, RQR 62044, applicant owner Homeless Helpers at 204 Master Lane. Councilman Barlow has asked that that be obeyed till May 4th, 2016. Discussion item 81, VAR 63092, applicant Ideal Foods, owner Byron H. Hoops and Marion L. Hoops. Appeal of a denial of a planning commission on .41 acres at 3718 Vegas Drive. Councilman Barlow has asked that that be obeyed to the May 4th, 2016 meeting as well. And discussion item 89, EOT 63677, applicant owner Church of God Seventh-day English on 2 acres at 3523 North Jones Boulevard. Councilman Barlow has asked that that be obeyed to the May 4th, 2016 meeting as well. That's my motion.
Wow, that was busy. There's
Your
a
Honor,
motion.
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Hi there.
I think I may have miscommunicated to the City Clerk's office on item 74. I think the request to obey was to the next meeting for 2 weeks, and I think I maybe said 30 days. I apologize. So can we just
May 4th?
amend the motion, please?
Change it on the record to reflect.
Okay, so there is a motion. Please vote and please post. And that carries. Councilman? I don't think that is on the phone. And were any in his ward?
No.
No. Okay. So we will move on to agenda item 72, GPA 6216, request for a general plan amendment from DR Desert Rural Density Residential to L Low Density Residential. Agenda item 73, ZON 62127, request for rezoning from U undeveloped DR Rural Density Residential to R1 Single Family Residential. The applicant is Alan Rothstein. The owner is Mexican Gold and Oil Exploration Trust, and Drake Rothstein on 4.30 acres located in the northwest corner of Pioneer Way and Hickam Avenue. Planning Commission recommends denial. Staff recommends approval on both items. These are in Ward 4 with Councilman Anthony and are public hearings, which I now declare open. Is the applicant or representative present?
Good afternoon, Your Honor, members of the council. My name is Bob Gronauer, 1980 Festival Plaza Drive. I'm here representing the applicant on both items number 72 and number 73. Very short presentation here, if I could get your attention to the overhead. And the overhead here is what I'm showing you. It's highlighted here in green, is approximately 4.5 acres of property, which is a net acreage. We are on the north side of Hickam Avenue, which is located here, which runs east and west, and we are on the west side of Pioneer Way, located here. As you can see in the general vicinity, just to the south of us, we have R1 zone property that's existing for single-family homes. You have an RPD8 across the street, which comes out to 8 units to the acre in this general vicinity here. And over here we have the county RNP area with the properties located in the county. We are asking for a general plan amendment for low density, which would allow for R1 zoning. And your staff is recommending approval. We believe that this is a good type of transition type of zoning in this area where you already have some R1, RPD8 to come in here with a single family development. There is no tentative map on this application, but if these applications are approved, we'd like to at least state for the record that we would like to have a tentative map or a future tentative map as a public hearing, so we could work with anybody in the area with respect to the project itself on the design of the homes. As you know, with the general plan amendment and the zone change, we cannot condition those or require that to make sure you have those neighborhood meetings and public notices. So that's something that we would want to do to address the design of any single stories versus two-story homes and so on, because that's where you essentially have those types of discussions. So that being said, we would ask you to follow the staff's recommendations of approval for the R1 zoning.
And to this point, you have not had community meetings?
We've had 2 community meetings.
You have?
Yes.
Okay, and first, it is a public hearing, we'll hear from the public, but first I want to ask Mr. Perigo, why was it denied by planning?
Thanks, Your Honor. Yes, the staff does recommend approval because we do see that it is compatible with the R1 and the RPD8 across the street. At Planning Commission, a number of neighbors did show up with some concerns over the density, and it was the neighbors in the areas to the north and the west that are in larger lot homes. And for those reasons, I think Planning Commission felt that it was not compatible and therefore recommended denial.
Okay. So I would entertain anyone. We have cards from public. Tamara Badkeek Johnson and Raquel Delgado and Derek Johnson and Jeffrey Reese and Randall Reese. So if we would, we could have each. And then what I'd like to do, I want to make sure that when you come back up to discuss what's occurred so far and your plans going forward to work with the neighbors. Okay? Okay, please,
Hi.
sir, and if you would repeat your name for the record.
Jeff Reese, and my address is 7465 Helena, which is the back property line to this piece of property is
Can
mine.
we show that, can we see that on the plan again? Would you mind just leaving it up so we can see where people live? If you just point to it on the map there, sort of.
This whole piece of property back here is mine. My brother's, mine, and then my brother and I's. We've been out
Okay.
there since '68. Keywords in this transition that they're using is across the street, across the street. There's nothing across the street from me. It's going to put people in my backyard with chickens. I got chickens, geese. You know, it's just you can tell that it's not a transition of the proper houses for that property. Like here again, been there since '68. Moved out there so that we could live in a resident with bigger lots, bigger houses. Smaller houses are going to definitely bring our property values down. And it's just, you know, the key word, across the street, the transition, across the street. Like I said, here again, they keep using that across the street and that word transition, but there is no transition from my property to these people's backyards if they put 10 houses down that property line. So
Thank you.
That's my
Thank you.
my
Do we have, on the diagram, do we have on that site where the density is? I mean, can you show that, or the plan? Does it show on any other?
Your Honor, there is no site plan
Yet.
or map for this site quite yet.
So we don't know, I mean, I understand what's being requested, I'm just wondering where on that.
I don't believe a map has been submitted for that.
So until the point that you know what they're doing with it.
Exactly.
You're sort of up in the air, but that I'm sure will be coming the meetings and a plan of what's being put, and we are going to turn this to Councilman Anthony.
Right.
But let's just have all your comments, I'd appreciate that, but I think.
The last meeting, there was a young lady over here that said basically the same thing. We're not going to change the zoning until you show us what you're going to do, because they could sell this property 3 times and then who knows what happens. So.
Okay. Thank you for coming down, sir. If you'll come up, we don't need your address, just your name for the record, please.
My name is Randall Reese, and I live adjacent to the property as well. And not to be repetitive, I'd just like to state we've lived there since the 70s. We moved out there for a ranch-style life, and I just don't see any reason that it should be anything else but half acres there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi.
Hi
My name is
there.
Derek Johnson, and I live right here
Okay.
in the RPD2 neighborhood. My wife Tamara and I live there, and we've submitted a lot of written information explaining why these applications are not compatible with our neighborhood. But I would like to paraphrase the statement that Chairman Todd Moody made at the Planning Commission on January 12th, where he said, "I feel like I understand this community and happen to disagree with staff on this one. This particular lot is clearly desert rural, and that's exactly what it should stay." The Planning Commission went on to vote unanimous recommendation of denial. There are 46 large county lots in this area here. And I have more information, but just to be brief, the minimum size lot out there is 0.47 acres. The largest is one of Jeff's at 1.34. The overall density of that area is 1.67 units per acre. Clearly, R1 is not a buffer for more R1 in between 1.67. It's just not. In fact, the staff report states the built density over here is 4.78, not 8 units per acre as it could have been. We all know that the allowed density doesn't end up being the built density. The built density ends up being something else. The staff report states the built density over here is 4.78. Down here it's 4.24. So what's being proposed here is greater than the built densities anywhere surrounding it. Okay. Now, we agree with Mr. Moody that this site should remain desert rural. But if the City Council doesn't agree with that, we at least ask, please, that the City Council not approve any density greater than rural at maximum 3.59 units per acre, or any zoning with lots smaller than RD at minimum 10,000 square feet. Anything beyond that would just be very incompatible and would harm the integrity of the rural neighborhood and the overall neighborhood. So, since the applicant just plans to sell this land, in fact, I have record here that he's asking $1.295 million for this land. He bought it for $136,000 only 6 years ago. He has no plans. He's showing us nothing. You know, he's proposed nothing that would be binding on a new property owner to, you know, to reduce the number of lots or do anything. You know, we respectfully request that the City Council deny both of these applications.
Thank you for coming down, appreciate it. Point of clarification, and please do come up and state your name, but on this plot plan here, upper left-hand corner, is that this, I mean, RD and DR, they're the same? That says RD, and on my papers here for 72 and 73, it says DR. Desert rural, is that the same as rural density? There's no difference, even though the letters are reversed.
Yes, Your Honor. So the DR that you're looking on in the header is the land use designation. And if you're looking on that map, the upper left-hand corner that's in the blue or purple, that RD is a zoning district.
Okay, but those are rural density or desert rural, what are they? What does that RD stand for? On
RD is, stands for single-family residential, and it's a restricted residential district, and it allows for minimum lot sizes of 10,000 square feet. So it establishes the setbacks and the lot size, and it's more of a it's more restricted. The R1 allows 6,500 square foot lots. The DR land use really sets the density at 2.49 units per acre. So it's two different things.
They are different then. The RD and the DR are different.
Yes, and if you'd like, we could come up with some other letters to make it even more confusing.
I love that. Thank you. Ma'am, please go ahead, state your name.
Hi there. I'm Ann Casey, and I live on this property directly across from Jeff. And as you can see, surrounding me on the north and east is the buffer zone. That property was originally zoned for 9 houses at rural half acres. And they put in, I believe it's 14, 1, 2, 3, no, it's 13. So they went from 9 to 13. I personally have 9, count them, 9 homes abutting my property, Most of you have maybe 3. I have 9. The difference is that the ones on the east, the 3 on the east, are 200 feet away. So I'm not looking in their master bedroom, their master bath, like I am to the ones to the east that are 10 feet away. That's what Jeff is facing, except he's facing even worse. He's facing going from 8 homes to as many as 3 times that, which is close to 24. I'm not going to quibble 20, 22, 23, whatever. It's close to 3 times as much, while that to the north and east of me is 1.5 times as much. That is just not compatible. Take it from one who lives there. And it's not just an issue of whether they're single-story or 2-story, because what they do is they build these houses. So I have 9 houses surrounding me. The houses, these new houses that are built for, they build the property up 4 feet, then they put 40-foot, 1-story homes on it. Then they put 12-foot block walls around me. So far from the rural life that I've lived there for 35 years, and the rest of my neighbors have lived there that long or longer. Jeff, I believe his family was there before I came. They've been there 50 or more years. So we have a well-established rural neighborhood. So I've got 40-foot homes on top of 4-foot build-up with 12-foot walls, and I have to walk outside my house to see the sky. That is not rural. Not only that, not to mention all the noise that it comes. Now, I'm lucky. Again, I'm not 3 times the number of homes that Jeff is facing, and that's just plain wrong. The applicant said that he wants to have meetings to meet with the neighbors. Well, this is the 2nd time this applicant has come and tried to get this zoning on. And he has met with the neighbors before and never listened to anything we said. He said that he had two meetings with us on this particular issue. That's sort of true, except that the first one, none of us got the message. None of us got the email or the notice. Supposedly it was sent out, but none of us got it. It's not just like one didn't. None of us got it. One person got it in the homes over here. Nobody else in the rural half acres got it. So then he said, oh, postpone, put this meeting in advance from last time so he can meet with the neighbors. But he still didn't come up with anything new. So he's met with us numerous times. He says he's trying to make it sound like he's going to meet with us and work with us on this, but he's not. We have offered that if he wants to come up with something that's more akin to what's north and east of me, as bad as it might be, it's certainly better than what he's recommending. But he hasn't recommended anything. What he's looking for is he wants open zoning so he can come in and bring whatever he wants, and then there's really nothing to stop him. So we respectfully ask that you deny this. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming down. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the item? Thank you. Hi.
Good afternoon. My name is Tamara Badick Johnson, and I live here. And I was born in Las Vegas in a rural community. So
What high school?
Pardon?
Which high school?
Valley.
Good. Okay. Keep going.
So I understand what everybody's saying who has lived here, Jeff and Ann. You know, I live that way myself. So after searching a long time, my husband and I finally found an area where we could live that had a little bit of that rural flavor and atmosphere that we were looking for. And even though we're in this neighborhood, the homes are bigger. But what the applicant is talking about is building on his site a potential of 23 homes. And right now, from the subject site, north of Craig Road, there are 23 homes here. So you're talking about putting all of this condensed into this one little area. We use Pioneer a lot. We enter and exit our home that way. We walk that way. Right now it's deserted. Potentially 23 homes right here is going to mean a huge impact on traffic. School kids walk. Here's the crosswalk at Craig and Pioneer, the school crosswalk for Ruth Deskin Elementary. We've already had a student killed here recently, hit by a truck. People walk along Pioneer going to the park, back and forth to the school. That many more homes here is going to greatly impact this, add more noise, more people, more traffic, more of everything, and ruin it, especially for people here. Ann's already experiencing, you know, our neighborhood, but it's really going to completely change the character of our neighborhood. So I do deny.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate your denial.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For coming down. Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to close public hearing. Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. This is obviously a funky piece of property. I mean, on the north and the west, you got desert rural half-acre lots, and on the south and on the east, you have the R1, you have regular residential, and then if you go even farther east, you have the real compact stuff. So, and then you have this one piece of property that's sitting in the middle of all that, and it's undeveloped, and Mr. Rothstein came, he wants to sell it. He wants to sell it to somebody who's going to develop it and put homes on it, and I understand that, and I want to help him do that. And back in 2014, he came to me, and he wanted to put the kind of the compact stuff on there, and I told him absolutely not. That was not going to work, and kind of went away, and now he's come back, and he has put an application for R1, which, when you look at it, could be reasonable because R1's across the street on both sides. But you do have all these residents, and I appreciate them coming to the meetings and voicing their opinion, and they don't want that, even though Mr. Rothstein would like to have it. They don't want it, and I have to take that into consideration. So I guess this is going to be all about compromise. So I know the R1 designation is for its minimum 6,500 square feet, right?
Yes.
So we talked about that, you and I, Mr. Groenauer, and I told you that a compromise could be the RD, because the RD is 10,000 minimum. That allows somebody like D.R. Horton to come in, and they're building some absolute, I don't know if they're the ones, but D.R. Horton, Pulte, whoever's going to do it. There's a lot of these neighborhoods that are being built, and they're very nice. And I think that would be an appropriate zoning for this particular piece of property. RD, it's bigger lots. He should be able to sell it to somebody. And, you know, the other thing is this tentative map business. I know that's an issue because you don't actually see what's going to go on the property, but we had this conversation, and I'm glad you put it on the record. Any tentative map that's going to go on this particular piece of property, we're going to have a public discussion about it. You're going to have a meeting with the neighbors, let them look at it, make some suggestions. So we're going to have public involvement in the map to try to make sure that any issues that can be resolved. So are you good with all that?
I'm only good with whatever you recommend, I guess. I'm going to follow, yes.
Okay. All right, then. That's okay. So, Tom, you help me with these agenda items to change the rezoning so I can make a motion to the RD.
Could I ask a question first without?
Oh, sure.
Yes,
I'm sorry,
Councilman Coffin, please.
Yeah, thank you, Councilman Anthony. I want to make sure that I understand what's going on here. I am sort of the new kid on the block, even with 5 years. We don't have developments like this on the east side of town. So I've heard some complaints, understandable, about the lot sizes and particularly the potential, because it's funny with some of the small lot sizes, you can't really do what they also fear, which is real high-profile homes, which you could do with a 10,000-foot lot. And so, recognizing that this is county land, I am curious about a couple of issues they're important to me. For example, did these people ever have a chance, or have they declined coming into the city? I don't know if that's ever been proposed to them. Tom, do you know?
Your Honor, through you, Councilman, I'm not sure I understand the question, but it is in the city. The property is in the city. The other ones, you mean the surrounding ones?
All the folks around it are county. Well,
yes, I got you. Okay.
East and south, yeah.
I understand. So,
well, have they resisted coming into the city? Have we asked, have they been approached? I mean, maybe they were worried that we wouldn't approve the same sort of lifestyle they have under the county.
To the best of my knowledge, we have not polled that neighborhood to see if they would like to be annexed to the city. Whether they have signed petitions for sewer annexation, I don't know.
Okay.
They've been there for quite some time, so I imagine they're all on septic and well, but I don't know for sure.
Oh, okay, well, it could be true. I'm a little uncomfortable with the proposal if it doesn't have some sort of height limitation. That is rural, that really is. Now, the question is maybe what Bob is responding to based on the councilman's suggestion. I'm just curious. Is it true you could have a 40 or 50-foot structure there on a 10,000 square foot house? Single family?
No, if we go to the 10,000s, which is an adequate buffer when you're with the half-acre lots, I mean, you do that throughout the valley. The 10,000s are the standard buffer. And on a 10,000 square foot lot, we're going to be able to build a house within those setbacks. But if you're going to be asking for a additional structure itself, that may come up where we would have to come in with another land use application, depending on what that structure is. But what the councilman was mentioning on the tentative map process, which we normally do, is you have a public hearing to address single-story versus two-story type of homes and developments in that area. And the most appropriate way to address that is at the tentative map stage, because we're not allowed to put any of these conditions, or we're not able to put conditions on the zone change itself.
I think I understand that part
Okay.
there. Okay, yeah.
Councilman, that zoning district allows 25 feet in the front, 30 feet in the back, two-story is what's allowed within that zoning district.
Two-story?
Yes, sir.
Let me see. Okay. I'm getting a feel for it. I'll surrender the mic back to the mayor or whoever else. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask, Councilwoman has some questions also, or comments, please.
So the RD is a 10,000-foot lot,
Yes.
and it can go two-story.
Again, single and two-story is allowed in
Single-
any zoning district, yes.
And, you know, my concern is, we're voting on something, and we don't know what this gentleman is going to do with it. That's going to depend on a third party. I don't think we very often had something like that. I can't remember any that came through, but probably something did. But this makes a big difference, I feel. Number one, we don't know what they're going to do with it. Number two, I wanted to ask you, what is 10,000 square feet? Is it a quarter of an acre? Is it an eighth of an acre? I sort of go with acres in my mind.
Tom,
What
you
is
wanna
it? What
respond?
is 10,000 square feet as
Well,
far as acreage? 1/5, 1/8, one whatever?
It would roughly be between a quarter and a third. It depends on how it's laid out. I mean, 42,000 is an acre, so 10,000 is roughly a fourth of that. But again, it all depends on how the site is designed and it's all laid out. So quarter acre to larger.
Yeah. And then the last thing that concerned me was the fact that there's a street separating this rural area from the more intense number of buildings, and there isn't any here. And that concerns me. There's no street separating rural then from the more intense. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks. Mayor Pro Tem, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council members. This is a challenge for me because this actually is going to affect one family that I've known since my youth. And I'm having a hard time supporting even the DR designation. And I still think, I was just explaining to Councilman Anthony that the home builders are buying up every piece they can. I think those cul-de-sacs there, the old standard of RE, ranch estates, rural estates, is a good standard. I can actually see 8 homes there with 2 cul-de-sacs with 20,000 square foot lots in that area. I don't remember how the other side of Pioneer got zoned that way. We weren't here then, but that's awful dense, especially in the middle of that ML designation. So I'm going to have a hard time supporting this as well, Mr. Gronauer, just to give you a heads up. And Councilman Anthony knows that, okay?
Okay. Councilman Anthony, back to you.
Thank you. Again, I think this is a good compromise for everybody. So With that, Tom,
Excuse me, if I may ask you a question
Sure.
or ask Tom the question, I don't know which. At this point, can you restrict it to one-story homes? You're suggesting an RD, can you restrict it? No,
We
you
don't
cannot do
typically
that?
put conditions on zoning. The zoning district stands as it is. If you find that that zoning is compatible with the area, then that's the finding.
But you cannot restrict to one-story?
And no, that's correct. What we've done in the past is we've done zonings like this. We put the stuff on the record. If that's part of the record of one stories, when we come through with our neighborhood meeting as a public hearing, that is one of the conditions that we put on there. And if somebody disputes that, you look back at the record here of what was discussed. That's how we put that nexus together in representing items out there for the home builders.
No. Okay, I just, I really, if we were able to do it, which we're not, then I would go ahead for RD, but I can't go for this. So go back to him, I'm sorry. Mr. Anthony, please.
yeah, just that's a great point, Mayor. Just to be clear, we are going to take a good look at the map when it comes up. We're going to have a lot of public input on that, and if we need to put conditions on there, we can put conditions on there, and Mr. Gronauer's already agreed that he's going to be involved in that process, so. Okay, so agenda item number 72. What are we going to do with that, Tom? Just change it to RD?
Well, through you, Your Honor, Councilman, so on the GPA, the land use designation that they're requesting is L, low-density residential. The RD will work in that land use designation, but it will also work within the rural R at 3.59 units per acre. So if you're considering the RD zoning, you could either move for the low density or the rural land use designation on item 72.
And we would be fine. It makes sense to be rural and keep it rural there because then you put the cap on 3.4. The density is going to be somewhere about 3 units an acre, which is a great transition in that area.
Councilman, can I ask you another question?
Sure.
And not to interfere with it, but because there is no plan, could we get to the point to ask them to bring a plan under your recommendation, RD, and then see what they're going to do?
Bring a what?
Bring a plan, because
Yeah.
this is right now, before we make a vote on this.
Well, he can't sell the property unless it's rezoned.
Well,
Okay?
lots of time.
I mean, if the only way we would go through this process on the tentative map is it would take about another 45 days to go through that process to lay out what the lots would be for you to take a look at that. And I'm kind of trying to feel if that helps the council if we have to go through that process. I'm saying it's roughly 45 days. It may take 60 days. I mean, you could see a plan with that. I guess that's an option. I want to lay everything out there, and I would take the direction from the council one way or the other.
Well, that will rest with the motion that Councilman makes, so thank you for that offer. At least to me, it's helpful, because I would not want to be in their shoes with the possibility of the bigger lot and a 2-story building there.
So, okay, so what you're saying is you would be interested in obeying this until you put
I think that probably would put everybody at ease with respect to what you're going to see. And as I said, is when you're looking at an RD, about 3 units to the acre, 10,000 minimum square foot lots, you as a council may be more comfortable seeing what the proposal is, instead of saying, as the mayor said, you don't know what it is. So although I'd like to get a motion, get everything approved today, I think I understand part of the process is if it gets everybody comfortable with that, and maybe not, but I think if we showed you what the RD would be laid out, I think I'm optimistic that the comments may be a little bit different.
So who would actually do that?
What you do is hire an engineer, because these engineers work, engineer that works for a residential builder, And for the most part, you could lay out a subdivision. You have a pretty good idea what home builders would look at. The only thing that you wouldn't have, and I can say it for the record, we wouldn't have the exact elevations of the homes itself, okay? I mean, so it's not like we're going to have to show you and say, these are the exact 2,000, 2,500 square foot, 3,000 square foot homes that you're going to have. That would have to come later on in a subsequent review, I guess, because I wouldn't want to mislead anybody as we go through the process. But I think by cutting up the lot itself and seeing how the lots actually lay out there, that may give you a better picture to understand that when you're looking at this is probably about 3 units an acre, and the layout itself gives it a good enough buffer in this area of what we're discussing. So I think that would probably make everybody more comfortable there.
But that would not be the exact map for the development.
No, yeah, I'm looking at, you're probably about 12 homes here.
Right.
It says 3.5 units, but we have 4.3 units an acre, so you're probably 12, it might be 11, depending on the constraints on the property itself.
All right, so basically you're going to get a sketch out of
Yeah.
a piece of paper on what the lots would look like, but you don't know what the house is going to look like.
No, I don't
any
want
of
to
that.
mislead you, yeah, that's
Correct.
the only, that would be the question that would be left open, but if you're interested, more interested in the way it's going to be laid out with the cul-de-sac and the lots in there to get a better look, then so be it.
So how long does that take?
That's the experts over there. I could say a minimum 45 days if we had somebody go ahead and submit a map in. But I don't know how we could track it with this application that would be still in the system on hold.
Sure. So just to be clear, are we talking about submitting a tentative map to go through Planning Commission to City Council to catch up with this application?
That's what I'm thinking of.
So we're probably looking at the second meeting in July. By the time it gets submitted, it gets scheduled for Planning Commission.
So the map would be submitted with a rural designation?
Yeah, we would do a rural designation, RD. It's still going to be noticed, I believe, as low density in R1 zoning, but I'm already telling you here is I got the message.
Okay.
Rural, at least we're going to design it with rural land use plan in the RD zoning classification.
Okay.
We could lay it out there to give everybody a look at it, and so you could, as I said, I believe you'll be more comfortable taking a look at it, to be supportive of it, instead of what I'm hearing here is maybe not everybody's as comfortable until you see a picture.
Okay, well, very good. I'm going to listen to the folks up here and the neighbors, so let's go through that. So I guess it would be July 22nd, is that right? June, July 20th. Okay, so we'll bring this back.
Yeah.
July 20th, we'll have a map that we can all look at. It'll gone through the Planning Commission and see how comfortable people feel on that.
And then for the record, we'll meet with the neighbors also to show them the redesign, because I don't want to come here in July, whatever it is in July, and have the neighbors look at it for the first time. So although we may not be in agreement, but we will definitely meet with them to show them the revised plans. We owe that to
Great.
them. And I think that's fair.
Thank you. So
Okay,
on
so-
number 72 then,
So I'll
please?
make a motion to obey item 72 till July 20th.
Thank you. There's a motion to delay, to obey on...
Okay, I guess I can do both of them, so.
And 73.
72 and 73 obey till July 20th. Thank you, Mr. Gronauer, appreciate that.
Thank you very much for being so cooperative, and thank you, everybody, for coming down. There's a motion to obey on 72,
Madam Mayor, if I
73.
just might
Yes,
add,
please.
this is good to pay attention to the concerns of people who have lived there for so many years.
Yes,
And so-
that's
Am I-
that's
And
why we're
then they will
doing
be
the
able to see
tentative map.
visually what's planned.
Yep.
Well, you're not signed in.
I did sign in.
Oh, I found it.
I'm,
There you go.
thank you. Please post. And that motion carries.
Okay,
So
thank you. Have a
mark
good
your
day.
calendars. You'll have a planning commission before that, but that will be notified too.
And if I can
Thank
then
you.
say,
Yes.
comment to the folks out there. Folks, Mr. Groner knows how to work with Councilman Anthony and the rest of the council up here to get to where he needs to be. So I just want to give you guys that level of comfort as well, that, your input is very important as this process goes on. So thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you for coming.
Councilman.
Appreciate it.
Can I make
Your
one
Honor?
comment?
Yes, what, Councilman? please?
Mr. Jackson? Mr. Jackson?
Before you leave, wait, hold on, please.
Are you Mr. Jackson? Johnson, I'm sorry. Could you come up here just for a second? At one of the planning meetings, you were very rude to one of our planning employees. Please don't do that again at future meetings.
When I stated the densities...
I don't want to get in an argument, but he mentioned that you were a little rough
why I
around the
wrote you a
edges.
letter
So
following that
we
meeting,
need to be civil about this whole thing. So we're going to have more meetings, so please don't do that again. Thank you.
Okay, moving on, we have agenda item 74, it's been obeyed to May 4th. Agenda items 75, 76, 77, and 78 have been obeyed to June 15th. Agenda item 79 is obeyed to May 4th. And here we have one for us. Wow. Councilman Coffin. This is agenda item 80. Okay. SUP 63093, a public hearing, applicant Javier Avila Pena, owner, the Miller Trust et al., for possible action on a request for a special use permit for proposed auto title loan use with waivers to allow an 1,128 square foot tenant space where 1,500 square feet required, and to allow a 44-foot distance separation from a residential use where 200 feet required at 235 Northeastern, Suite 108, C1, Limited Commercial Zone, Ward 3, Councilman Coffin. The Planning Commission and staff recommend denial. This is a public hearing which I declare open. Are you the applicants?
Yeah, I'm Javier Avila. My
Thank
address
you.
is 601 Sunset Cliff Circle.
Thank you.
I understand it's denied or denial. All I ask is if I can get some sort of permit or a form so I can inform my landlord, so I won't have to keep paying rent or anything like that. So.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do, first of all, is hear from Mr. Parago and staff about the denials on both sides, and then we'll have public comment if there's any, and then I'm going to turn it over to Councilman Coffin, who will address everything.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I would just note also for the applicant, regardless of the outcome of this item, each applicant receives an official letter from the city as to what the decision was. So whether it's denial or approval, they will receive that letter and all that information. Madam Mayor, the proposed use fails to comply with the minimum distance separation requirements and fails to meet the minimum square footage requirement, and therefore we find that it cannot be conducted in a manner that is harmonious and compatible with the surrounding neighborhood, and that's why staff is recommending denial.
Okay. Thank you. All right, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to make comment on this particular application? Hearing and seeing none, we'll close public comment time on this and turn it over to Councilman Coffin.
Thank you, Your Honor. The use, it's an odd thing because the city requires a larger use, a larger building for this particular, or at least a larger tenant space for this kind of operation. Here they're coming in 300, almost 400 square feet smaller than that, and that might sound enticing, except they're still way too close to the residences there. And there is a bit of auto traffic when it comes to auto title. There are people that hang around sometimes, and it's a little too close to the residences. I'm going to move to deny, and you'll get a letter from us on that, or you'll get something official. But the vote stands if it passes. So I'm going to move again to deny item 80.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there's a motion, please. And please vote and please post.
And Madam Mayor,
Yes.
you understand that the letter that you'll get from the city is what you can take to your landlord.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
And that motion passed as recommended, denial on that, and you will hear as Councilwoman said.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming down. Okay, agenda item 81 is obeyed to May 4th. So on to agenda item 82 and 83. SUP 63115, an appeal of the approval by Planning Commission on a request for a special use permit for a proposed congregate care facility in 83. SDR 63116, an appeal of the approval by the Planning Commission on a request for a site development plan site development plan review for a proposed 41,756 square foot, 72-bed congregate care facility with a waiver of the town center development standards to allow none of the building to be built to the front setback line where a minimum of 80% is required on 3.98 acres. The applicant is Michael Choa Development Company, and the owner is Delaware 118 LLC et al. At the southeast corner of Riley Street and Rome Boulevard, TC Town Center Zone, MSTC Main Street Mixed Use Town Center, and Mixed Use Commercial Montecito Town Center Special Land Use designations. The Planning and the Commission and staff recommend approval of both items. These are in Ward 6 with Councilman Ross. Our public hearings, which I declare open, and is the applicant or representative present? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Lucy Stewart, 1930 Village Center Circle, representing the applicant, and in the audience with me is Mr. Micah Choa. And he is the developer of the property, and this is basically a reapproval of an expired application. Staff has recommended approval. Planning Commission has recommended approval. We were actually on one motion, one vote at Planning Commission, and we were appealed. So I don't know if we need to listen to the person who appealed it to hear their concerns and potentially address them. I'm sort of at a loss. So.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Stewart. This is public hearing. Anyone wishing to come forward on this project, please come forward and state your name.
Hi, my name is Doug Braun. I have a business located at 6690 Grand Montecito Parkway, which is just down the street from this proposed development, and we were the group that appealed it. Basically, there is really one reason why we appealed this project. Give you a little context. We came to the Planning Commission.
Excuse me one sec.
Yeah.
You need to listen to him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He'll shoot you.
I was at school over here.
Please, if you just would go. It's all right. Okay.
Yeah, so we came to the Planning Commission to hear about the project, but it was on consent agenda, so we did not hear about the project, and the folks that represented us at that hearing didn't understand we could stand up and actually hear some more about the project. So we didn't understand anything about the project, but we're here for one specific reason. And
which is?
That's to understand if the staff had done any traffic studies related to this property. And the reason why I say it, I've had the opportunity to meet with the developer. We have no objection to their use. We only have one issue, and that's traffic. We are adjacent to a charter school there, Imagine Schools. And at pickup and drop-off, they block everything, and they use our parking lot. Yep. They have folks out in the middle of the street that aren't allowing our staff to come in and out of our parking lot. So we've done everything we could to address this with the city. They also block certain aspects of their, they have 2 ingress and egress points to their school.
Have you, excuse me, I might interrupt you, Mr. Braun, have you in fact gone to the charter school and addressed the issues?
So where we're at, we're in a mediation that's done through the city and county with the school and the 2 big homeowners association adjacent to us. We and the 2 homeowners association are very concerned about the traffic. This traffic during pickup and drop-off backs right up in front of their site, and people are parking all right in front of the site right now. So we tried to address it with the school many times, and we have no leverage with the school. We've talked to city fire, city police to try to address this issue. And what's happening is they're backing up on the streets. I just drove by it. I have pictures on my phone here of a line of traffic at 1 o'clock.
Right, I've heard that
on Grand Montecito.
Yeah.
So we have absolutely no leverage. We're in the middle of a mediation with the city, and then another project is proposed that's going to only exacerbate the problem. My question is, did staff do anything to look into this issue? Was this even brought up with this project? And can we get a condition of approval or something from the people that can make a decision that can help us have a solution for this. We're
But
all
you are
about,
of the mind that the project's fine, it's the traffic issue because of the school that you have a problem.
that is correct, but another project there is only going to increase traffic. And the fact that the school is lining up currently right in front of the subject site, I think the council for just to approve a project and not worry about the traffic issues doesn't make sense. So we are not against the project. We just need some kind of leverage to help us address this issue.
Thank you, don't go away. Where are we on this, and why is this not part, since the charter schools are under a different umbrella in the Clark County School District, why hasn't that been brought to their attention to make sure that something less problematic is done by the charter school on this? And what is our part in it?
I'll answer that question for you, Mayor, if I may, with your permission. They are in mediation. We are very aware of what's going on out there on Grand Montecito Parkway. Sir, you know you bought that property knowing that only had one access and egress, so you're still going to have to work it out with the school. I'm very disappointed that you appealed this, because this should have been done at Planning Commission. And you have to expect that all those parcels, as they get built out, are going to create more traffic. That's just what's going to happen. I would, through you, Mayor, I'd like Mr. Anderson to address the traffic study, if with your permission, Mayor.
I would like that, but before you do, I'd like to ask, does the school rent property there? Or did they, they lease the property, right?
Yes, they lease.
Did they come in, how long ago did they come into the property, and did they, in fact, were they subject to certain conditions for the traffic that they were going to have with the number of
It's
students?
not just that school, it's every school in the valley that has this problem at those times of drop-off and pickup.
Yes.
So that school's been there a long time. It's changed hands a couple of times.
Okay.
But it's always been an issue, and I've been addressing that for the past 11 years with those HOAs as well.
Okay.
So it's just, they're
Is
trying
it
to
a
do
high
the best they
school?
can. It's, I think, Christine? 6th grade to 6th grade.
So they're not, the students aren't driving, these are the parents that are
Correct.
going, coming and picking
Yeah.
up? Okay. Okay, please. Oh, and then we'll have comments from Councilwoman and Councilman Coffin, but please, if you would respond first, as he's been asked.
Sure. Bart Anderson, Public Works. A congregate care facility of this magnitude is not typically a huge traffic generator, so a traffic study was not required by condition with this action. The traffic engineer is certainly aware of the issues with the school, and as the councilman and Mayor Pro Tem has indicated, there are continuing negotiations on that. Certainly I can bring this to the traffic engineer's attention, let him know that there is concern in the area, and have him take another look at this, but typically this type of use is not a heavy traffic generator.
Thank you. Councilwoman and then Councilman, please.
First of all, I know what the word congregate means, but what does it mean in terms of planning? What do you mean when you say it's a congregate care facility?
Congregate care, if you would address that, please.
Yes, we're just pulling up the definition right now, just to make sure we get it right.
And while you're doing that, what? Oh, okay. And the other thing I was going to say while you're looking that up, so to save time, I know that charter school came into my area. It wasn't in there originally. We approve charter schools, right? They come to us before. I should ask planning. We approve. If you have a charter school, somebody here they want a charter school, they have to come to us and do the whole site thing. Is that correct?
Is that true?
You were looking it up. I'm sorry. I was asking a question.
I'm sorry, go ahead again with that question.
My question was, if somebody wanted to start a charter school, they would have to come to the city and get approval for their site plan and everything, right?
Well, it would require a use permit, and it would depend whether or not they needed a site plan, what building they were going into. But
Right.
yes, there
They
is
would have to
some
come to
level
us
of-
the same as a business would have to come to us. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I just want to say, I think we do have to watch on the charter schools very carefully. One came into my ward. I wasn't there when it was approved. It wasn't in my ward at the time. But we have that same traffic problem. And we do have traffic problems throughout the city in all of the public schools, but at the charter schools, it's even worse. Is anybody listening to me here? I'm using up all this energy. I would say that my experience, and I do have quite a bit in the public schools, it is a problem in the public schools, and at some schools it's far worse than at other schools, but it is more consistently a problem, the traffic at the charter schools. And that's probably because it doesn't go through all of that as you have to when you're going to put in a site of a regular public school. So for in the future, I'm just saying I think we should be very careful when we look at the charter school applications on the parking and everything, because where we were, for example, there were signs up. We thought the city put them up. No, the city didn't put them up. Somebody else put them up. And then when something got changed, somebody else took them down. It's just you have to be very, very careful. I'm not saying that happened at your place, but I'm just saying with the charter schools, they don't have to go through as much thorough evaluation in that, and I think we have to be more thorough perhaps in that, watching that.
Well, certainly in the neighborhoods for sure. You do have one in your neighborhood that's been in Ward 1 that it continuously working with neighbors and having a traffic flow pattern at drop-off and pickup was critical.
You talk about Wasden?
No, there was another one, but it was a newer school that was right next to a medical building at this time.
That's right. We do have problems, but it's
traffic flow.
It's traffic problems. I'm just saying that you're not as aware of them when it comes in as a charter school as you. So I'm just saying to planning and to council members that it's sort of, we're going to have to watch very carefully because a lot of things turn out there you're not aware of, the way it's all put together. And what we had to do is go in there, and then I think you helped us, and certainly other members of staff helped us, so we were able to work out the traffic, and you know, the businesses don't want all that traffic, and it was a mess, and I'm sure we have to be very careful. Okay, what's your definition of congregate, not just congregate, but congregate care facility?
Congregate care facility, and the reason we took a moment to look it up because we just want to confirm that we had it right in the staff report, because it is a little confusing. It is not defined in Montecito Town Center. So we defer to Town Center Development Standards, which defers to Title 1918, defining congregate care is most closely aligned with convalescent care facility nursing home, which is defined as a building or structure designed, used, or intended to be used to house and provide care for persons who have a chronic physical or mental illness or infirmity, but who do not need medical, surgical, or other specialized treatment normally provided by a hospital. The term includes a rest home and nursing home, as well as the use that would qualify as a community residence, except for the limitation on the number of residents, but does not include an assisted living apartment, hospital, or other medical facility that is specifically defined in Title 1918.
Okay. So what you're planning to have there are mostly people who will be in bed for a while?
For a temporary duration. They won't be living there long term. It's when you leave the hospital, but you're not ready to go home yet.
But they're not people who will be going in and out to the store or to the movies.
Not at all.
They need it. No. And I will say that that is a situation that I know you don't have as much traffic, anywhere near as much traffic with a situation such as that, as long as you clearly have the parking and everything for your staff and visitors. Yeah.
Right. In fact, you do the peak number of employees per shift is basically how it's parked, and then you have extra for visitors.
So I wanted to say that, and then secondly, lastly, I would just say that I do think we have to help you, because even though this happens all over the place, Councilman Ross, even though it happens all over the place, it's a very hard thing to clear up. And what I know what I did in my situation, and I'm sure you will in yours, is bring in all our experts here. And sometimes the people who own it then, for example, own the charter school will help. And that's what happened. Our charter school helped to alleviate the problem because they knew they were in a big jam as far as the other businesses were concerned. Thank you very much.
Councilman Coffin.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm glad that Councilwoman struck out first in this direction so that you could ask the question that I didn't know the answer to either. So I'm very happy that you did plow the ground. That's why I was down talking to Councilman Ross earlier, because I didn't know what congregate care was. I hadn't heard that term before, so it's new to me. There's a congregation of alligators, a congregation of crocodiles, a congregation of birds, but So I gather there's no wildlife to be here. This would be a congregation of people, not a church. So congregate care for those who are not animals and not a church. They're hanging out, as Councilman Ross said, most ages or seniors, because we define it in the negative. We sort of say in our report, congregate care is not defined there, and so it's typically something it is not. It's not exactly a convalescent home. It's sort of for chronically ill, but even I, who have my usual disabilities, mental and physical, I could actually live there too. Is that correct? No. Wait a minute now, I don't know.
Excuse me, I don't think you can. I think you have too much ability.
Okay, I'm not
Okay,
joking.
so
I really
here
do
we
want to
go.
know.
Enough of
I
this.
really do want to know. Congregate care, okay. I'm not an alligator and I'm not a crocodile, but I am a senior citizen. So the thing is, I'm not seriously sick, but I have my disabilities. I gather
We know
from
you
this,
have disabilities. That's enough, Councilman
my mental
Kaufman.
disability. Stop it,
Goodness.
Mayor. Stop it, Mom. So now, if we have this, I could live with people that were disabled, I guess. Is that correct, really? That I could relatively normally mobile, and I could live with convalescent people as well?
But this is really designed, this isn't long-term. This isn't, you don't go to live there forever. This is a stopgap. If you break your hip in the hospital, you know how expensive it is to be in the hospital. So you can't, I mean, nobody can afford, nobody's insurance would keep you in a hospital. So you go, but you can't go home because you can't take care of yourself. So you would stay here.
Well, why don't we call it a convalescent home?
My understanding is this is how it's categorized. So.
Oh, okay, I guess. I surrender, Mayor. It sounds okay.
It's a very long surrender. We'd still be in the Revolutionary War if he were there.
Well, I was there.
Anyway, so in 1 second, we're going to have a motion or a decision or something, Councilman. Yes?
You bet. Thank you all very much for participating.
Sorry. This is public hearing. I can't remember. It was so long ago. Did anybody wish to make? Oh, you are part of our public hearing.
Yeah,
Yes. Was there anyone else as well? I mean, you're welcome to stand here. All right. I'm going to close public hearing, but you may stand here in case Councilman Mayor Pro Tem wishes to ask you a question.
No, and I
Please.
appreciate you standing there and understanding and learning this process. He is currently working with Malcolm White at the Community Justice Neighborhood Mediation Program that Clark County does over there. Malcolm's doing a great job keeping all the stakeholders informed. So thank you for that, Christine. So I appreciate you participating in that. That school does have 2 entrances, yes.
And could I recommend to you that you recommend, however, and always with charter schools, there is a body through the state that is in charge of everything to do with charter schools. They need to step to the plate and help.
Well, this actual school location was designed to be a preschool first. And I remember the long meetings that we had on discussion on getting their special use permit. They've outgrown themselves, so they really actually need a new home, new location that's more conducive. But the traffic will continue to increase. Even over by the hospital, those paths are going to be built out soon, so we're going to see that. But this is the area of town in Centennial Hills we call the town center, and we have specific different standards there for more intense, dense uses. And that's why you see it so compacted in a lot of those properties. And then as we creep out, it stops to get, it's not that dense. So you can expect more traffic, but what I would encourage you to is stay engaged with Malcolm and what these guys are doing. The school does have 2 driveways. They've got to bend a little bit. And I know the pains that you're going through because I'm getting the phone calls from the HOAs as well. And we try to mitigate a lot of that over on Doe Brook and behind you in the whole 9 yards with traffic pickup. We can't legislate behavior, and when I figure that out, parents will be better parents picking and dropping off kids, So we're just hang in there, keep doing what you're doing. So, and Ms. Stewart, I appreciate your client's patience with us, but I'm going to go ahead and follow Planning Commission staff's recommendation for approval on agenda item 82.
Mr. Scott, can we do 82 and 83 together?
One at a
This
time.
time, one at
Sorry
a time. All right. Councilman Ross has asked for approval on agenda item 82. So there is a motion, and please vote, and please post.
Sorry, Mr. President.
We just love the challenge, Councilman.
Madam Mayor, it's of interest that the most danger for children in schools for traffic accidents is the parents driving.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the parents who want safety, and they're the ones that cause the problems.
yeah. And non-agenda, that passed. And non-agenda item 83, please.
Would also follow Planning Commission staff's recommendation for approval.
So motion on agenda item 83 to approve, please vote and please post. But call, and that motion carries as well.
Thank you very
No, I mean,
much.
this is something, you'll help everybody else affected by leased out charter schools that in a new area, that there haven't been schools unlike this one. That creates a problem, and that we will try to be as thorough as we can up here to make sure that traffic studies and those things are done. But I would certainly go to the highest point on charter schools and say, look, this is your ball game here, help. So, thanks. Okay, we are now, let's see, that was 82 and 83. So agenda item 84, EOT 63460, a request for an extension of time of an approved special use permit SUP 25070 for proposed mixed-use development. 85, EOT 63462, a request for an extension of time of an approved site development plan review SDR 25072 for proposed 14-story mixed-use development, including 5,000 square feet of commercial space and 130 residential condominium units. The applicant owner is Solterra Holdings Nevada, LLC at 823 South First and 102 Hoover Avenue, C2 General Commercial Zone. Staff recommends denial on both items. These are in Ward 3 with Councilman Coffin and are not public hearings. Is the applicant or representative?
Mayor, I believe the other three are also attached to this item, 86 through 88.
What did he say?
I think the other ones are also attached to the same item. I think there's 5 items altogether.
Your Honor, they're different sites.
But
Same owner, but different sites.
So I'll pretend I didn't hear that. All right, so please go ahead. Are you the applicant or the owner?
The owner. So my
Okay.
name is Michael Boza, Solterra Development from Vancouver, BC. I'm here today to ask for an extension of time for our properties on First Street. So it is items 84 to 88, so I'll speak to all of them at the same time. We've come for extension of time numerous times.
Mayor, if he's going to speak on all of them, we do need to read them all
Read the
into
rest of them?
Yes.
Okay, if you wouldn't
Sure,
mind,
absolutely.
please, to allow me. I've read 84 and 85 because the request has been to address them all. So 86 is EOT 63463, a request for an extension of time of an approved special use permit SUP 25267 for proposed 550-foot building within the AO Airport Overlay District where the height limitation is 200 feet. Number 87, EOT 63466, a request for an extension of time of an approved special use permit SUP 25268 for proposed mixed-use development. And 88, EOT 63467, a request for an extension of time of an approved site development plan review SDR 25265 for proposed 50-story mixed-use development, including 15,000 square feet of commercial space and 700 residential condominium units. The applicant owner is also Solterra Holdings Nevada, LLC at 800, 811, and 819 South First Street and 101 Gas Avenue, C-2 General Commercial Zone. Staff recommends denial on all 3 items. These are in Ward 3 with Councilman Coffin and are not public hearings. And therefore, we will go on back to the applicant. And I'm going to ask, as you go forward, I'm going to start off and ask staff, why are you recommending denial?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to turn it to Mr. Lowenstein to make the report.
Afternoon, Madam Mayor. This is the 4th request for an extension of time since its original approval in 2008. This demonstrates the staff's inability for the subject site to be developed within a timely manner and is recommending denial of all the applications. Thank you.
And it was solely on the extent this is a 4th request.
That's correct.
Thank you. Okay, back to you.
Thank you. We came originally in 2006, I guess it was. In 2008, we put our original application. We applied for the 2 projects. We cleared out the sites to start. Obviously, the economy turned at that time. We are in a holding pattern. And what we do in Vancouver is high-rise development. That's what we do. That's what we came to Las Vegas to do. We're not speculators. We don't acquire land for flipping. Over the last few years, I've been part of the Downtown Las Vegas Alliance from its inception. Also was the chair of the First Street Promenade design. So I flew in for those meetings for all the work that was done on First Street. And we had those meetings in our offices in Las Vegas. So I've been a member of the community downtown, and we're simply waiting for the economy to turn. We do have a parking lot that's on the property. There was concern in the report that it says there's a 3-year approval for the parking lot. It is, but our development, our lease with our tenant allows us to terminate that within 3 months. So I just want to make everyone aware that they went for that time, but our agreement is 3-month notice. Since we've been here, the entitlements are for First Street. We have actually continued to purchase property along 3rd Street. We had a small parcel. This year we finished complying the rest of the block. So we still believe in downtown Las Vegas. We're extremely grateful for the amount of investment that the city has put into the downtown. When we came, we were asked to come by the Economic Development Office, and there were all these promises of things that were going to happen. I can honestly say that my original boards and the big dreams are literally all pretty much in place. Now it's time for us to do something. We're not here for the long term. We're not flippers. Our banks from day one, Hong Kong Bank, I think he sent a letter in, is fully supporting us. We've never gone back to do any adjustments with our lenders or our loans. The exact same bank from day one. Again, it's the Hong Kong Bank of Canada, and they're our primary lender in Vancouver, and they'll continue to support us here. We're asking for the extension simply to allow for the economy to get to a position where we can start to build and sell economically. Primarily, we sell. What we have decided that we're going to look into now, especially with a smaller building, to try and move forward, is evaluate on a rental program and entitle it, condo map it, I guess, so we could potentially sell in the future, but at least move forward with a rental, because there does seem to be a strong demand for rental, and the rents have gotten to a point to where they seem to make sense. The other thing is our design. I think it's important to understand that when we designed the building that many years ago, we designed it based on Vancouver model, which is smaller units, affordable. So if you ask me, would we build those today? They're actually perfect size for today. Vancouver's gotten 30% smaller again. So we wouldn't build these in Vancouver anymore. It's incredible. And the other thing that we don't want to do is have to reapply with the exact same building, because we're just going to miss the target. When it turns, we have to be able to act. We have the financial ability to. This is what we do for a living. I can assure you we're not here to flip, tie. We would have done that a long time ago, and we would have stopped investing, but we haven't done that. So I'm requesting your consideration to extend the entitlements.
And
That's
for
all.
how long is that request?
The denial was for, well, it was denied. I believe under the alternate extension, it was 1 year. I would be happy with 1 year so that I can move forward and see what we can do, especially in the rental program. And then if there's a problem, at least I can come back then and I'll have a plan.
Any comments, questions from council? Please.
Yeah, if I can, Mayor. I'm sure you understand staff's position in regards to this. Extension of time, extension of time,
Absolutely.
extension of time. It is very challenging for us.
Absolutely.
I'll certainly support whatever Councilman Coffin wants to do, but I can hear Oscar Goodman, you know, and it may have been you when you stood in front of Oscar Goodman years ago. Do you have the money to build it now? I can hear him saying that to prospective developers that wanted to develop things in the downtown. And that was a common theme, right?
Well, we do have the money to develop.
And I think that's significant that we know that.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
And did you say, of course, through the mayor, did you say that you're continuing to purchase property in the downtown core?
Yeah, the last acquisition was 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay.
So now we own an entire block on 3rd Street as well.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Mayor.
So
Thank
we
you
do
very
have
much.
money, and on 3rd Street, because of the lending parameters out there and Las Vegas, we paid cash for those.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, I apologize, Mayor, through you. So you do these you're building these or built these in Vancouver?
Vancouver, that's what we do.
How many units have you built in Vancouver? And do you hold them as a company? They're yours, you lease them out, or what do you do?
Well, we have different divisions. So we have Solterra Development Corp. That's a straight high rises for sale. So the last project that we just finished, we're almost sold out. It's 174 units. It's close to, I think, $100 million in sales over the last 3 months.
Wow.
So it's very, very different market there. We also see how things change so quickly. So we have that development that's recent. We have one that's in Squamish, which is a mountain community. We bought that land at the exact same time as we bought Las Vegas because we thought it would go, and it's hit its tipping point. We've sold 20 acres worth of real estate for the last 5 years. Now we sell out a development. 50 townhouses will typically sell out within a month. And this is a community that was struggling, 16,000 people, but we saw the opportunity. We have 3 more entitlements at the city of Burnaby, which is a sister city to Vancouver. Actually, today in Vancouver, the council's approving a affordable ownership model that I worked on for 5 years. So it's actually happening today in Vancouver. This is why this is so important to me. I've worked on that for 5 years, and I'm obviously not there today, but if you Google home ownership in Vancouver, it'll pop up. There's 6 pilot programs. We're one of the 6, and I have 5 years worth of dealings with the city to try and get this affordable ownership model in. We have 5 or 6 other properties in Vancouver that are going through the entitlement process. Everything is for sale.
Okay.
Anything that we do that has a building in a downtown, has commercial, we keep all the commercial. So we do have that inventory. We do industrial that we build and we sell. We keep all of our industrial for cash flow. Residential, rentals, we have a couple of older buildings. We are looking at them in Vancouver, but given the market in Vancouver and the sales velocity, it's easier to not hold them and just keep turning them over.
That helps me, Mayor and council members, and these will be for sale units as well once you build these?
Yeah, our plan is for sale.
Okay.
Understanding that we can't wait forever because there's a threshold people will afford, and there's also a perception, and it takes time for perception of value to get achieved. Our thought now is with a smaller building, to look at doing it rental, but mapping them so that they could be sold in the future, and in the short term we can at least get going. We need to get going. Like I said, one property is pretty much entirely paid in cash. The other one with Hong Kong Bank, we've been paying down every year. So that's almost paid off in cash, which means we have a lot of money invested. We have to make a decision.
Right. Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And can we have the plot plan back? And I'd love to see where you just bought, the property you just bought, that goes back to that one that shows the
I can show you
site
this.
plan. Further. Because it shows the subject property, but I couldn't.
I don't know how to turn this
There
on.
it is. Where's the property you just bought on 3rd? I can't
So if
see it.
it's on 3rd and Hoover. So
I see Hoover to
so
the
you
south
see-
of your C2 there.
Okay, so on.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, do you have an image where it shows?
I've got an image that,
Will you please put it on the overhead so that he can show
I
it?
don't know.
Right in front of you, there.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Yeah, there we go, okay. Sorry. If you want to zoom in, so this is our First Street properties here. So
Okay.
this was the initial acquisition.
Yes.
A smaller portion, then we purchased the balance. And then we purchased on here on 3rd Street. So original 3 that we purchased from a developer that was downtown that has since then left the city. We purchased these 3 lots.
Okay.
And then we purchased these 2 at the end. And then we've just finished purchasing the house, so that was the longest one.
So you
now
own
this
that
is-
whole strip
That's all yes, we purchased it all. It's all paid for
and paid for?
and paid for.
And the other subject property that you have is fully paid for?
Mostly paid for at this point. We
Okay.
do have a letter that was sent in from our bank to Economic Development Officer from Hong Kong Bank.
Okay.
And former Mayor Goodman has met them a few times in the past when we originally came in for the loan, because they were investing from Canada in here, because it was easier for us to do it through Canada than actually through the States.
So given this timeline, were that the issue that Councilman Coffin is going to consider, what would be your timeline of assessment as to when you could start and if you're going to start?
We would basically work on that now. As far as the rental program,
Yes, the shorter building.
yeah, we would effectively move that forward from, literally today I have meetings to go see all the downtown product and the rental rates.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
And just to stress our commitment, I've been coming here for a better part of 10 years, and I purchased a home here, so, you know, the goal was to move forward, so.
Well, we hope so. Councilman Coffin, it's yours.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, Mike, you see that although it might be Ward 3, it's downtown belongs to everybody.
Yes.
So everybody is concerned, and the extensions have been generous at this point. And really, the current extension expires in January. It's still almost 9 months away. I was reluctant to give you any more extensions. I think from my practical point of view is we have to make something happen. People don't move sometimes until they're told to move. And I still feel that way. The original request here is on a 2-year extension. Is that correct, Tom?
Thank you, Mr. Councilman. These are set to expire in January of 2017.
Yeah.
If approved.
If approved. So you're really expired now, in a sense, aren't you? So we've got to do something to help you out. And I am willing to do that, but I think you've got to be more than just saying the right things here in front of the council and assuring the mayor and
Excuse me, I'm
Councilman Ross and
confused
others.
there, Councilman Coffin. On what was approved before, it sunsets in January of 2017, so there's still another, whatever it is, 8 months?
Let me just clarify, and I think, Councilman, your question was the request that came in was for a 2-year extension, and that part was correct. The extension of time that was previously approved is expired if action isn't taken today to grant this extension. If council were to grant this extension, staff has placed a condition that it would expire in January, on January 9th of 2017.
Got it, thank you, Councilman.
Yeah, so it's not as clear as many of the extension of times. Partly that is because, in a sense, some of the EOT elapsed in the intervening time. I think, Mike, you have a good company there, and they've been making a fortune in Vancouver. So it is time to invest in Las Vegas, and I really think that, besides owning land, and so I'm inclined to say, without specifying a specific number of months, let you have your January 17 kind of a date. That's about 9 months away, so that you could demonstrate that you're going to do a project that does not maybe have the same grand scale as you first contemplated, the 50-story tower and some of the other things. I think you'd be happy building something nice that's a heck of a lot more scalable now. So how long would it take you to begin to submit our plans to us to show us what you could do, given the financing you have?
The current building on one of the attachments is a 14-story, so that's the one that we would look at first. The two were designed together, the two different buildings. There's two actually separate buildings, so one can be built, and everything goes well, then you roll into the second one. So what we would be investigating is the corner one.
All right, so the 14-story one?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got to see some movement.
Yes.
So with the understanding that there will be movement, and of course, who knows, times may get so good again, and I have mixed opinion about that. You may end up with a 50-story there nearby. I would move that we extend the time to January 9th, is it, of 2017. So that's not very much time, but it's time for you to work. And we'd be happy to help you all we can. I mean, we are, you know my cell phone, you know where you can reach me. We'll be living with you to help you.
Thank you.
Because you're going to help us. That was my motion, Your
Thank you
Honor.
very much. There's a motion to give an extension to January.
And that would be on
9th.
all items or one at a time? What was the
One.
legal preferred?
One at a time?
All right, so on item 84, I now move for extension of time to January 9th, 2017.
Thank you. There's a motion to approve to January 9th, 2017 on agenda item 84. Please vote and please post. Motion carries.
Move for extension to January 9th, 2017.
On agenda item 85, motion to approve to January 9th, 2017. Please vote and please post.
Now, on this one, 86, 87, and 88, there's a little complicator. There is a parking lot we approved here, a short-term or temporary parking lot for Western Cab.
Yes.
And they've been keeping the property up okay. I think you have essentially let them take care of it.
Yes.
We noticed some weeds are starting to surface around the edge there, and I don't have the Moran family here to yell at, so I'll yell at you to
I'll
see
take care
if
of that.
we can get that fixed up right
Absolutely.
away. You obviously said that lease has 3 months' notice.
Yeah, I have a copy of it too, just in case.
So you could terminate that. I mean, I think they've been pretty good stewards of the land. We don't
And
see
they've-
dust.
They've taken the cars off the road, so I think it's
Yeah.
good for the neighborhood. That's why we're okay with it, but.
It helped us.
Yeah.
So we hope that relationship continues well. So therefore, is there anything we need to put in the record about the temporary? Because I understand that there was an approval by the Board of Health, Tom, on the issue. I'm going to look this up because I got a statement from the cab company that indicated that they did have approval of the Board of Health. The question was, why didn't they pull a permit perhaps for this fence? Is that something?
Through you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, the Department of Air Quality Control would issue dust mitigation for the ground cover on the parking lot. But in addition to that, the applicant or they would be responsible for pulling a building permit for the chain link fence or any other improvements that would require a building permit, as well as business licensing for the commercial parking lot.
If it's not a commercial lot, if it's just simply their private use, what kind of business license would they need? It's simply a convenience.
Your Honor, through you, both of these matters have been turned over, or licensing enforcement and code enforcement are looking into that to determine exactly what that would be. So we will continue to work with the applicant to make sure we get that right. But if it is a commercial lot and it's being sold for a company to use, there would be some licensing. I don't know exactly which. With a lease, I'm not sure what
Well,
exact
can we work
license that would be,
with
but
my office, the three-way thing, the staff, and your company, and the Western Cab people?
Absolutely.
To arrive at some solution here where we make the paperwork match up with the construction work?
Yes.
And if there's any money due, that we will collect that?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Your Honor, then, for item 86, I move for an extension of time to January 9th, 2017.
Thank you very much. There's a motion on agenda item 86. Please vote. Please post. And on agenda item 87, sir.
Your Honor, I move for extension of time to January 9th, 2017.
Thank you. There's a motion on 87. Please vote and please post. And finally, let's see if it carries. So carries as well. Agenda item 88, please.
Your Honor, I move for extension of time on item 88 to January 9th, 2017.
Thank you. There's a motion on agenda item 88 to extend to January 9th, 2017. Please vote and post. And that motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Welcome to
Thank you
Las
very much.
Vegas. Thank you. And on agenda item 89, that has been obeyed to the 4th of May. So that concludes our agenda, and I would instruct the city clerk, please, to set the public hearing dates and appeals from City Planning Commission meetings, dangerous buildings, or nuisance litter abasements.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so we are now up to citizen participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the City Council. No subject may be acted upon by the City Council unless that subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please come to the podium, give your name for the record. The amount of time or discussion on any single subject, as well as that time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited, and we will limit it to 3 minutes, please. Any members of the public who wish to comment here? Hearing and seeing none, we will move on to agenda item 92. And since he's all packed up and ready to go, I'm going to let him go first. Our blinking hat, we're going to let you go first, Mr. Pro Tem. Yes.
Do I pull this off
You look like you go for the circus. No, it's great. You're ready for the
I was thinking more
circus.
bling bling than,
All right, bling bling.
than circus.
What was it, wishing for fishing?
Well, yeah,
Joe?
quit
You're
wishing,
really
go
cool.
fishing. Bryce?
Go for it.
Okay. Ward 6, you see that picture right there? We just, Jerry Walker's crew's out there sprucing up the old Grand Teton River. Now it's the Grand Teton Creek. So we're doing a little sprucing up out there in Centennial Hills. We have started our movie series again. It's that time of year. This Friday, April 22nd, we are showing Inside Out at the Centennial Hills Amphitheater. So folks, come on out, bring the kids, bring the family out, bring your blankets, bring your folding chairs. There's a whole series of movies up until July 15th in Centennial Hills Amphitheater. Everybody knows where that is. And we too in Ward 6 are doing a shredding event also. I know my fellow council members have been doing them as well. So that will be Saturday, April 23rd, 10 a.m. to noon at the Centennial Hills Active Adult Center on the backside, off of Buffalo side. Limit is 5 boxes, so we don't turn folks away, but come on out and get your important documents and shredded so no one steals them and steals your identity. Another fun annual event we do out in Centennial at the Active Adult Center is the 2016 Senior Health and Fitness Day Plus Health Fair. It is Wednesday, May 25th. Starts at 8:30. Check-in begins at 8:15. It is free. Please plan on dressing appropriately because you will be doing some cardio, some line dancing. You'll be sitting in a chair massage. A lot of great things go on. Hearing and eye care foot specialists will be there. The RTC will be there. It's a great group of vendors. We fill up the gymnasium there at the YMCA, at the Centennial Hills Active Adult Center and Community Center. It's a great opportunity to get some stuff and see some stuff. And our continued partnership with Nevada Child Seekers, we do have a missing young lady. Her name is Helen Henry. She's 15 years old, 5'3", 110 pounds. Last seen in the area of Lake Mead and Martin Luther King. She was last seen wearing a dress. Please, this is one of the scary ones. We'd like to get her home. So contact the Metropolitan Police Department, 702-828-3111, or Nevada Child Seekers, 702-458-7009, if you know where she might be, so we can get her back to folks who will care for her. And if you need to reach me, I'm easy to get a hold of. You can certainly go to Las Vegas's new website, lasvegasnevada.gov, /Ward 6 to find me. I'm on Facebook, Twitter as well, or the old-fashioned way, 702-229-6154. And Mayor and Council, I'm finding that even emailing is now kind of like not cool anymore because people are messaging me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and so I'm still having to learn that whole communication thing. But anyway, that's what we got going on Ward 6. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to call on Councilman Barlow, who's not here, and therefore he has nothing. Then I'm going to call on Councilman Coffin, who's just advised me he has nothing. So I'm going to come to Councilwoman Tarkanian next.
Okay. The RTC has launched a Waze partnership in our city. The focus of this is helping drivers safely maneuver all the planned street project disruptions that we're going to be having very soon. I will be taping Access City Council this month, and my guest will be the Regional Transportation Commission General Manager, Tina Quigley. And I ask viewers, please watch the program, which begins airing on KCLV Channel 2 on April 28th, because I think it will be of great worth to you and great benefit. The groundbreaking for Project Neon, the largest transportation project in the history of the state, took place last week. And on the Access Show, we will discuss the RTC's partnership with Waze and other programs which should help residents navigate around town while construction takes place with the Project Neon and other local transportation projects. And I will tell you, it will be a lot of disruptive construction, so please try and listen to these programs or other information RTC is sending out. The Rainbow Company Youth Theater will present the play Bridge to Terabithia from April 22nd to May 1st at Charleston Heights Arts Center, located at 800 South Brush Street, 800 South Brush Street. This play is appropriate for ages 7 and older. It is a faithful adaptation of the Newbery Award-winning children's book where best friends Jess Aaron and Leslie Burke imagine their own kingdom, a magical kingdom of Terabithia, where they reign as king and queen. Their activities are beautifully presented in the play, and the warmth of good, solid friendship is emphasized. Tickets are priced at $5 per person. They're available through the city's website or by calling 702-229-6553 or 702-229-4614. The Leyburn Senior Center is offering seniors over the age of 50, now these are active seniors, we can't just call them seniors anymore, active seniors, the opportunity to enjoy Mount Charleston on Wednesday, May 11th. The fee is $30. The trip includes lunch at the lodge and time for serenity in a beautiful setting, and also an opportunity to explore for an hour or so the land around the lodge before returning back to the city. Residents must register by May 6th. However, the sooner the better, because these seats fill up quickly. For more information, contact the Leyburn Senior Center at 702-229-1600. And finally, I would like to give a shout out to the Nevada PTA, which is celebrating its 75th birthday. We all know parental involvement is important in our schools. Teachers and parents together are the key for a child's advancement in education. So give a shout out to your PTA members in your school this month. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I would also like to confirm Tina Quigley has been on Hello Mayor a couple of times with David Bowers, and as has Rudy Mumpelbaum talking about Project Neon. So there's a lot of information you can get by watching KCLV Cable Channel 2. It really is a very informative site. We have a lot of guests, and the information, it's all there just to give you information. So I see that Councilman Anthony had nothing, and I saw sunglasses on because it's so bright in here,
Well,
Councilman
I think
Beers.
Councilman Anthony saw Councilman Ross's hat and left, even though he had some things to say here. I was able to merely put on my sunglasses, and I was able to tolerate.
Very good. You look good with the
I
hat.
was able to tolerate looking that direction.
Blink.
We're going to continue with the Ward 2 walkers through the spring and summer. With the advent of daylight savings time, we've started now at 7 a.m. each Tuesday and Thursday. We do a couple of laps around the track at the Wallapai Canyon Trailhead, which is a 0.8 of a mile walking path through some beautifully landscaped desert. Dogs are welcome on leashes, particularly because we have coyotes. So that's the Ward 2 walkers. Also, the next Coffee with the Councilman is going to be at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf up by Costco. That'll be on Friday, May 6th, 2016, 7:30 to 9. Hope to see you there that day. It was on this day in musical history, 52 years ago today, that Elvis Presley's movie, Viva Las Vegas, premiered in New York City.
Wow.
That is a particularly cool bit of Vegas history. Elvis played musical race car driver Lucky Jackson, who was here in Vegas for the first annual Grand Prix race, you may recall. He needed to hustle up money to buy a new motor, did so, but then ran into attractive swim instructor Ann Margaret, and the rest is history. After Elvis, Ann Margaret married her next love and has been married to him for 49 years, Your Honor. That'll be next week, will be their anniversary. She did some acting on the Showtime series Ray Donovan 2 years ago, and is actually going to be appearing on the big screen next year in 2017 on a all-star cast led by Morgan Freeman. That movie is going to be called Going in Style, for everyone to keep an eye out for. And that's all we have, Your Honor.
Wonderful. Well, we're very excited. We have spring cleaning, everybody. I hope you're doing it, and save everything from spring cleaning. We have a challenge with all the other cities for spring cleaning to help Goodwill of your gently used items. So think of Goodwill when you do that, and if you're from the city, please let them know that we're part of that mayor's challenge out there. And then come out and join us for a healthy family outing. The Mayor's Walk will take place this Saturday, April 22nd starting at 8 a.m. at Kellogg's Air Park. Everyone's welcome to come and bring your pets, and we hope you'll be out there. We're very excited about it. Our next city council meeting will be Wednesday, May 4th at 9 a.m. here in council chambers. And again, thank you, staff. Thank you, technology backup. Thank you, city clerk's office, and thank you, everybody. Have a great, great rest of the week, and bling and fish. Bling and fish. Bling and fish.
Okay.
Great. Don't forget your hat.
I'm not forgetting that hat.